216 is the amount of episodes we're currently in for TCP. And this week, we are inundated with a monstrous amount of Overwatch 2 news. So much so that we're not going to be able to cover it in one episode. So we're simply not going to cover anything at all. So we're going to say nothing about it. Zero about Overwatch 2, as we'll wait for next week. And then next week, we'll just say the same thing again. Really, I'll just repeat myself and we'll say the same thing. And, you know, just like, well, I was going to say just like Overwatch, but, you know, in some ways like, in some other ways not so much. Last episode of AOT, not a lot happening. I was a little bit pissed about how they handled a certain character that got reintroduced to the show. But other than that, pretty softball episode. Still waiting for things to heat up. We're still on the beach episodes. Everyone's kind of starting to pack up their beach towels and putting away their sunscreen, you know, little bottles now. And we're starting to, the sun's starting to go down on the beach, and maybe people start packing up and going home. But, you know, we're slowly getting away from the beach episode. We're slowly getting back to the main plot, hopefully, in the next season.
I mean, yeah, I don't think you're too far off with like need another season.
Joe, have you done the math?
Sure.
Have you done the math?
Oh,
there's four episodes left. There's 4 episodes left, and as a manga reader, I know that we are not going to be able to fit that. You simply will not fit that in 4 episodes.
You need another season, or you need like some crazy. I don't even know if a movie.
You need a movie. You need a movie.
It's nuts. I don't think you're too far off with like the comparisons. You know, trying to be as spoiler free. The only issue is that at least Attack on Titan announced that their roster was signed, and we're still waiting on ours. So while we have some confirmation that everybody has their 6 players, I don't know that anybody else does. So here we are.
Hopefully they tell us who they have. I mean, at what point do the teams? I mean, I get it if they want to hold out, because some of them might have done their signing very last minute. Like, oh, is today their last day? Okay, sign the contract today. They might have done that. And you need a bit of time for your social media team, and your marketing team, and your content team to put out the video and do all the things behind the scenes. We get it. It takes some time to do that. But I'd be very disappointed if by this time next week, we don't know we don't know what all the rosters look like. Like every roster that has now had to sign 6 players, we should know what those rosters look like by this time next week.
I would certainly hope so. And I do feel for the social team. I know how much or how slow that process can be. Not in terms of making the content, but like just getting the confirmation that yes, this is happening, full speed ahead. But yeah, it's a little unfortunate that we have a roster deadline and then not everybody's like eating it, I guess. They have, but
you know it's bad when Halo doesn't even want to leak it. He doesn't he either doesn't know yet or he doesn't want to leak who the number 6 player is. Actually, most teams, I'm looking across all these rosters now. I can't even see a team that has 5 players on it. They all already have 6 on it, except for Valiant. But it's heavily rumored that Wukiel's on a player contract anyway, so if we buy into that, they actually have 6.
Yeah.
Oh, NYXL is 5, apparently.
Yeah, New York.
Do they? Okay, they're the only team that prior to the deadline still had 5, and no rumored player was their 6th player yet. Aside from that, everyone's got 6 already.
Wait,
true.
Who is announced for NYXL?
Nobody.
Flora, Yaki, Kellen, Myeongbong, Gangnam Jin, and no one else.
Yeah, it's just 5.
Wait, Flora
with no rumored player beyond that.
Flora, Yaki, Gangnam Jin.
Yeah.
Kellen.
Yeah.
I said all 5. What?
Kellen.
Yeah.
And then
he's trying to
the last one is
Myeongbong, Gangnam Jin.
Myeongbong. Okay.
Yeah. But there, I mean, to that point, yes, there are a lot of teams that have made or have met the deadline of having their 6-man lineup. But there's also like a lot of teams that have like obvious holes. That's like, are you really going to approach this season without a main support? Are you really, going to do this with only 1 tank? There are some teams that not certainly, but are highly likely to make some, more moves by the end of this off season, which is coming up quick.
All the teams on 6.
Yeah.
Which now includes Seoul minus Jonak. So they need a replacement there. Philly still need another tank. Valiant need another tank. Or actually, they need to just announce their first tank, which I think we all know is kind of Wu Yao, but also maybe I don't know. I don't even know if I want to get into that. New York need to announce. Shock probably need another tank. Paris, Paris look like they need another DPS, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Paris just stuck to 6 and not 7.
Possible.
Because I think their team does go pretty budget in terms of like just playing with minimum. I think they might go 7, and I hope they do, but we'll see. Titans rumored that they were going to go for 8, so they still got room for one more. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's other teams. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas just flexed themselves into a third support as well. I mean, they can and they have definitely flexed roster size in the past. And Chengdu still need another tank. They have 8 players. They still only have 1 tank, so they might get another player. So there's a bunch of teams that could still. I think there's a bunch of teams that still are looking for one more. Yeah.
Has anyone entertained the idea that maybe XE didn't work out with Valiant because he's back with Dallas or something?
It's certainly possible.
Once again, not leaking or anything or any background knowledge, but I was thinking about that. Like,
that's crazy. Then, if Halo, did he mess up his information, or did the other team? You speculate it could be Dallas. If this is even a real thing, we're just playing by the hypothesis here.
Yep.
Halo would have to have missed the other team's interest.
Or maybe not. Maybe he did it 30-day, didn't work out. Then like Dallas, like we kind of wanna, and then he's going there.
You're not actually saying Dallas, all right? You're just putting them there as a placeholder, like it could be any team.
Yeah.
Because Dallas already have 4 DPSs.
Yeah.
Just saying, just putting it out there. They already have 4.
Yeah.
2 of which are hit scans. Just saying.
Yeah.
I know Dallas, like they can and sometimes do flex their roster size, but getting 5 DPSs, 3 of which are hit scans, is a little bit of an overkill.
If he roll
Just a little bit.
swaps.
Yeah.
XE goes flex support.
Bro, there are still flex supports that exist currently that you could be getting.
Yeah, but they're not.
How are you going? Yeah, probably, and that's probably a good thing.
Probably is.
That's probably a bonus. Like that's probably like, oh, good, he's not XE. Thank God. Like, not there's anything wrong with XE, but I mean, like, it's like you're asking someone to role swap when there's actual flex supports available.
You said Faith last time. Just remember that whenever Joe says something like this.
And also say Faith today. Don't worry.
Oh, for what, Joe? Are you hinting at something?
Maybe you're gonna have to click on those show notes.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So we are going to talk about what else. Is there anything? Yeah. I'll get off 1 or 2 more things off my chest, and then we'll properly start the episode. One of these quote unquote mini topics, micro topics, since we're skipping AOT, and we're skipping Overwatch 2 news. All the Overwatch 2 news that exists that we're clearly skipping over. What happened over this last week? I got really annoyed at the internet again. Nothing changes there. It only takes 1 or 2 specifically stupid comments to send me off. I did a co-stream the Empowerment Cup, so shout outs to Chase OW, Vite Ramen, and Reflash Production, and everyone who participated, helped, donated. I did my part and donated the prize pool as well, and just did whatever to engage, even if you just watched, engaged with that event. Huge success in my opinion, and really highlighted some players that I'd never seen, but I'm very aware of now, that I hope will get some good mileage and get some good, position to move into other forms of competitive play, be that open div contenders or whatever that looks like down the line, or other competitions. And yeah, just really cool. But on the other side of that coin is you had the absolute height of pepige from Battle.net forums, where people can look at that and look at all the good that was the Empowerment Cup and somehow take a giant shit on it just because reasons. Just because I don't know. I don't actually know why. I don't know why anyone would look at that and have a negative response like, huh? Like that just doesn't even. I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't make any fucking sense how anyone could look at that and just like feel, oh, this is clearly bad, and just like have a very negative and stupid response to that. I don't know what it is. I think I tweeted this out. Is I think BattleNet forums is, I'm sure like other games have bad moments like this as well, and other games have communities that say equally stupid stuff, but I just don't see it because I'm not part of those communities. But the entire 6 whatever years of looking at BattleNet forum, not that I've been really looking daily or anything like that, but every now and then I pop by and it's the same shit all as it always has been. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it attracts and collects the lowest common denominator of intelligence that I've ever seen on this planet, which is maybe like a little bit unfair considering the whole 4 years of the Trump administration. I'm sure you guys have seen some real degeneracy, but
Still do.
Just from my own little bubble of gaming, this is the degeneracy that I see that like doesn't sit well with me. It's just like,
oh, for sure.
Wow, here's some genuine GMO-free, FDA-approved,
farm fresh, grass-fed idiots.
Farm to table.
Yeah.
Stupidity, genuine stupidity. It's just like,
it's bizarre.
Wow. We were joking about this like before the show as well. It's like just like really just comments that first of all have nothing to even do. I get people are frustrated that we aren't getting more Overwatch 2 news.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would have. I don't know why shitting on an event with good intentions and like that means well, that has good impact and positive impact on the community. I don't know why shitting on that is like the solution. As if like taking down the Empowerment Cup and taking a big shit all over that somehow, somehow that is, oh, if I take a big shit on a women's tournament, then Overwatch 2 is going to come out tomorrow. Is that the logic? I don't understand. Like, is that what people think? Because that's the kind of energy. That's the fucking small dick energy they put out into the world if they do that. And they would literally do that. There's so many people in the BattleNet forums just like, dangling their small peepees, releasing this small dick energy all over the entire thread. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's bizarre at how many people think that like, and you mentioned this prior to the show, like how many people either like implicitly just believe that like this is like Blizzard's doing, or that like somehow they've like schemed like mustache twirling villains to like push some sort of agenda when it literally like
got nothing to do with Blizzard.
The community license goes through and third party people get to put on events, guys.
Yeah.
Just how it's always been.
And what
this one just happens to be with the girls.
And what if it was?
And other people.
Like
yeah, and that's the thing. What if it was a Blizzard event? that should still no bearing. But people legitimately think that like, oh, it showed up in the Blizzard launcher. That must mean it's a Blizzard event. Well, you know what else shows up Blizzard launcher? Fucking streamers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Are they owned fucking by Blizzard as well? Is every fucking streamer that shows up in that? Are they fucking employees of Blizzard? Come on.
Well, yes, Avor, then they're all in the pockets of Blizzard Entertainment.
Like, what, you show up in the launcher and now you're like you have no individuality anymore.
No.
But like Yiska said, even then, what if who cares? Yeah. Even if the event was actually run by Blizzard, what of it? Is that a bad thing? Is that like suddenly a negative? Like the fuck? Like who cares? Like it's this event for people with like more than 2 brain cells. It should only be a positive thing. There should be like zero negativity surrounding something like this. They just, I can't see it. Like, where is the negativity? Even if you're the kind of, the dumbass that says like, oh, well, why aren't men allowed to play? It's like, well, yeah, you have every other fucking tournament that you can play in. Like, is it like one tournament you can't play and you're gonna fucking get upset about? Come on, you can play in 99.9% of tournaments, but you're gonna get upset about like the 0.1 that you just, the first of its kind that you didn't get access to play in. Like, wow, you're not being fucking suppressed here. You're not being oppressed by the system because of one tournament. Come on. There was stupidity around like, what was it? People somehow, I think there were definitely people making some heavy reaches because they're just emotionally upset. And, people obviously say really stupid stuff when they're emotionally upset and they can't, logically piece together why certain things are the way they are. And they somehow have mentally gymnasticked their way to saying that, oh yeah, well, like Blizzard, first of all, Blizzard had nothing to do with this tournament, but they think Blizzard are doing this women's tournament instead of working on Overwatch 2. Like, that's a rhetoric that I saw. And it's just like, how the fuck does that work? Do you think that Aaron Keller or Jeff Goodman decided to take 2 days off of work? They just put down their keyboards, put down their mice, like, I ain't doing any Overwatch 2 today. And they just decided to work on a tournament and do a tournament today. They just stopped doing Overwatch 2 for 2 days to work on it. Is that what people think?
Should we do our best like Jeff Goodman cosplay where we open up Excel and like we're tuning Torb, we're balancing numbers. Let me, message this female or non-binary players, see if they're
let me just stop work on Overwatch 2 and just do this tournament randomly. Is that what people think happened?
Nuts.
Is that what people think happened? Like, excuse me? How the fuck has this got to do with Overwatch 2? Like, why are you bringing Overwatch 2 in the discussion? Like, even if Blizzard were working on this tournament, it's a completely fucking different team. Like, it's got nothing to do with the dev team. How has Overwatch 2 got anything to do with this? I know. This is the thing I said to you pretty sure. So I was like, we need more medals. You have like gold medal mental gymnasts in this fucking forum, and I don't think they've breached the standard of gold every year. Every single Internet Olympics I've ever seen, they've like upped the standard for what mental gymnastics is. I'm like, Jesus, people are doing crazy and crazier shit with mental gymnastics every single year. We need platinum and diamond medals in mental gymnastics now, because gold isn't fucking enough anymore. People are doing multiversal gymnastics feats. They're fucking flip-flopping and blinking through the universe at this stage. It's like it's gone to crazy lengths how people's brains are working to justify random thoughts that they have.
It's just absurd. It's so like, once you get past gold, I feel like it's just like prime time comedy. Like, somebody somewhere
platinum medal mental gymnasts trying to like piece together their tinfoil conspiracy of how Overwatch 2 is being delayed because Blizzard are working on tournaments instead. Like, shut the fuck up. What the hell is wrong with your head?
The fucking Whammons, they're slowing us down, guys.
Yeah, it's
fucking nuts.
The Whammons tournament is slowing down Overwatch 2 development. Me so smart. I figured it out. Blizzard bad people. The Whammons tournament slowing Overwatch.
Shit's wild.
Oh God.
But yes, to circle back, I saw bits and pieces of it. Had to support. Didn't have to, but wanted to. Showed some support. Watched, viewed it. Saw the finals. And it seemed to really kind of hit home with a lot of people, giving those that don't have a ton of space, freedom maybe to participate in competitions otherwise, giving them a chance to get out there and compete, and maybe pushing people's careers forward. And then I think that's pretty fucking awesome personally. So hats off to them, and I hope it doesn't slow down by any means. I hope this is a continuous thing that we can kind of celebrate as a community.
I mean, I know that Andy, the reason I even got caught wind of this entire thing is because Andy B, the community manager of Blizzard Team 4 and all that, stepped into that thread and made a comment to try and calm things down a little bit. And I don't know that he speaks 100% for. I don't know if it's just his opinion or whether he's always speaking on behalf of Blizzard. It's always like one kind of like interesting thing where if you are the community manager, you make an official post. In some ways, you are speaking on behalf of your company, but in some ways as well, it does look like he's kind of putting his own thing in there. But my point is, it's like it seems like he was pretty cool about. He really liked the initiative in the tournament. Obviously, got support because it's putting the Blizzard launcher, all that kind of stuff. So I'd say that in a soft kind of way, it did seem like Blizzard liked it and want to support it. And I hope it develops into something big, because over on the other side of the fence, Riot have been doing game changes and Galorants and all that kind of stuff to some pretty big success. And their game also has a lot of problems. In fact, I'd say their game probably has even more problems with toxicity towards women and marginalized genders within the game itself. I don't have any hard statistical data for that. That's my objective view from looking at how many people complain about certain things on the internet. But yeah, I know they've definitely had issues, and they've taken big steps towards it to, by either offering pathways or just heavier penalties for toxicity. So those are all good things to live by, and I hope Blizzard takes notes and follows that trajectory as well, because I think there's a lot of good there.
Yep, agreed. Hopefully Blizzard does support it next time. Hopefully there is some, backing, some, tangible support.
Someone else in the thread's like, oh, there's only $3,000. I'm like, yeah, And it's all community money.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my money's in there because it's all donated. What do you mean? You're like, what is these people? Super uninformed people talking complete bullshit.
Unless you're talking about how like there should be more support, then sure, I would agree. There should be more support, but we will get there as long as this, is continued to be, championed and pushed by the community. This does, and it should be an initiative. This should be the catalyst to see more of these events. And hopefully Blizzard sees that it's actually doing some good and pushes that along, or helps it along, rather.
Well, that's what pissed me off this week. Yiska, we only have time for one thing that pissed you off this week, not all of it. So you're only allowed to pick one. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day.
Pick what? Sorry?
What pissed you off this week?
Oh, what pissed me off?
Just one thing. Just one thing.
What made you go, oh, scheisse? I'm so upset.
That's a good question.
That impression you just did, Joe.
Other than like nobody valuing like non-clickbaity headlines. Okay, here's my my pedestal. Okay, or me.
Mm-hmm. Your
okay.
hill.
My hill to die on. So maybe if you're looking at the subreddit right now, and even though the majority of our viewers actually don't come in with our premiere, but like afterwards, so it might have left already, but it is currently the top post on our Overwatch, which is ZP confirming that he still hasn't been given an offer. Now, I did an interview with ZP, and the first question is him saying exactly that. Now, I didn't want to clickbait, right? I wanted to, so just by comparison, like, okay, let's see, Eric, if you can, yeah, no, you can't get it in one picture. I'm sorry. Like, they don't like me that much. At this moment, I've yet to receive an offer from the for the coming OWL season. Now scroll down a little bit.
You might need to go to the next page, Eric.
Scroll. There you go. Now, ZP on his uncertain future is my non-clickbaity approach at addressing a delicate topic without being a dickhead.
Sure.
Turns out nobody gives a flying fuck about non-spicy framing, and nobody cared. Now,
you should have just
keep in
tweeted
mind,
next time. You should just...
This one is posted earlier than the current top comment. And the information, the same information, actually, the more granular information, because the first one is a tweet, was in that interview. It's ZP responding to this for like probably 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't picked up, but the one-liner on Twitter. You are all like title reading monkeys doing nothing else. You don't give a fuck about granularity or context. You just want to read Twitter feeds all day. You're that fiend. I am so pissed off at your media consumption. And by the way, I'm not being snobby. I'm definitely not like this in my personal life. And I cannot identify with that. And therefore, I'm completely incapable of like appealing to your degenerate Zoomer brain.
Two things off the back of this. One is you should have done a TikTok.
Right.
If you did a TikTok, you'd have.
Oh, you're on to something.
More. Number 2 point. Our Chinese viewers that we all just discovered this week are gonna be completely like, what's Reddit? Like no one knew this entire little bit is just like, no one. But for your sake, Yiska, I hope this topic picks up for you on Bilibili instead of Reddit, because they might appreciate you more than Reddit do.
Shout out to Kenobi.
Assuming
brother
they
in
know, the bottom right, brother in the lower right corner. Right, today
I love that.
We do not have a brother in the lower right corners. Yeah, we're assuming the Bilibili fans know who ZP is, but we'll see. They're all furiously. I was going to say Googling, but they're probably using Baidu or whatever. Just typing in ZP and see what happens. I actually don't know what you'd get in China if you typed in ZP.
Oh,
Keep your safe search on is my only advice. Cool. So moral of the story is watch the interview if you actually want to know more and actually hear what ZP had to say. We're rooting for him. Where do we go from here, guys? We are going to go towards the bulk of the episode.
Yes.
And officially, here we go. Episode 216. Brought to you 30 minutes later. Episode 216. Brought to you by Battle Crab, Refine Beam, Bronzebot Buhal, Chare, Prophet Picasso, Chris R34444, Kasha67, Lolshin, Porkchop Sammy, Rex Zane, Sir Girth Lot, Volamel Smooth Nuts, Your Misery. And I actually wanted to throw an extra shout out to. Let me find the person's name because I want to make sure I got it right. Where is it? I can't believe it. Where is it? The person who did all the translations for
the
for
Billy thing.
for the Billy stuff. Where is that? I literally responded to the person in Discord, and for some reason I can't find it now.
You want to
Someone can find it for me. I don't know. Where is it?
Eric's claiming it's either Jump Bear or Jeff Bear. Apparently, they go by both.
Jump Bear. Special shout out to Jump Bear. I think it is Jump Bear.
Yes. Thanks.
Because I actually thought like this content would be really hard to translate. I still think it is.
Like,
I
that's
still think it is. Like I'm talking about like platinum mental gymnastics and people.
I don't know how that translates.
You want Billy Bill? I was like, I don't know what that is about. What the hell?
What is that dude talking about?
What is that? I was like, I know we just had the Winter Olympics, but I don't know what the hell does that have to do with Overwatch.
Props, because that cannot be easy. So much respect.
So, Joe, you know what? This is your episode. What are we doing today? What are we doing for the rest of the 3 hours on this episode?
So, there's a lot of Overwatch 2 news, guys. I know that, we have a lot to chew on, but we're going to save that, and we're going to bank it, put it in the pin board, and we're going to save it for the next episode. What we do have...
Joe, our Billy viewers are now very confused because they think we actually have Overwatch 2 news that we're just not talking about.
That's the sarcasm. I'm lying. This is a bit.
Yeah.
So what we do have are fan questions. And if any Chinese fans want to submit fan questions, I suggest you head on over to patreon.com/tacticalcrouch. I don't know if that's even available. I'm going to hope it is, though. Head on over there. Any amount of patronage will get you added to our Discord. You can drop a question in there. I will add it to my magic list of lots of questions. And for this episode, we assume that this will be largely in thanks to one of our, friends of the show, somebody who's been a patron for a long time, Refined Bean, who asked a very large macro topic, if you will, something that kind of needs to be its own show. They ask, I'd like to see y'all's take on the best of for each hero at some point. Hard mode, no doubles. So we're going to attempt this show. The hard mode. We're going for the achievements. We're going to list 96 individuals in the next X amount of hours and try to get to the bottom of who our best of at each individual hero for Overwatch 1 is.
And I want you to know, first of all, we're doing the Elden Ring difficulty of this question, and also we've obviously done the math on this.
Yes.
To name 96 players, if we were fast about it and only spent 1 minute per player, that would still be 96 minutes. So strap in, guys. Strap in.
We've got a beautiful tool developed by our producer who did this as last minute as it gets to supplement us. But I am going to forego that and try to pull straight off the dome. So I will let these two have the intelligent takes while I will be spouting how much I love Faith throughout the episode.
Jesus Christ.
Go on. All right. Where are we starting?
Yes, where do we start?
Off.
I believe this is alphabetical.
Okay.
It looks like
is it
starting
all
with
right.
Ash.
All right. Bring it up. Who's going? Oh, me. I'm going first. Best.
Yep.
Wait, hang on. Best Ash all time?
Best Ash, period. Whatever you need to say.
Period. Shit. God, I've had a long time to think about this. I'm absolutely gonna say the wrong person here.
And that's okay. There's 3 of us. We'll get one of them.
Or
will we?
I'm gonna say Lip.
Okay.
And that's because I think his hit scan was so unbelievably good. He actually didn't play that much Ashe. Actually, he played very little Ashe last year because DM played it first. And then I'm not supposed to talk about. Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm not going to get into it. And then he played mostly Sombra. He actually played very little Ashe, but I think he's the best hit scan. So Lip.
Fair play. Yiska?
Right, so this is my chance to get a caveat in because these dickheads like went against my entire German culture and didn't give me a solid definition of what
It's
this actually
not up
gets
to us. The question asked best of.
Well, being screw you
Yes,
then.
because
I feel like as a German, you would appreciate the rules.
You have like 30 seconds left now, so.
No, I mean, you already know my answer. But my thing is like, okay, so what does that mean? Best of all time, as in like in aggregate, like the level of played, or like the one peak performance, like where the player for maybe a little bit of a longer frame.
Say the name.
Like I don't know what that means, but in either case, for this one, it's profit.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Next.
Yiska,
you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do this for every single player. An's done.
An's
okay.
done. Next. Where are we? Bastion?
Okay, for the people that want to hear more reasoning, we're gonna talk more about this afterwards, but probably not all of them. And for something like Bastion, it's just probably not gonna happen at all, is it? So, is it me? Are we not doing Snake Drive? I thought we said we were doing Snake.
Sure.
We'll just do it from the top.
Nah,
or do you want to do? Okay, we'll do Snake. Yeah. That's fine. Give me Sure 4.
Yo, this man just super pick. Okay. So I was going to troll this. So instead, I'm just going to say,
how dare you?
The person that had the most success with Bastion is the viewer that didn't tune in when Bastion comps were played. That's my choice.
Can I have Yiska's vote?
Sure.
Yiska, can you give me your vote?
Yeah, here you go. Yeah,
Zephyr. Put Zephyr in.
It shall be my vote.
Why is it actually Zephyr?
It's locked in now.
Okay, I'm gonna go Architect because he did the chandelier thing.
True. Oh fuck, that's a good
chandelier thing. That's it. I have no other reason for it.
From the chandelier.
He simply did a chandelier and that's enough. Who's this guy? Well, who's the next one?
I don't know. It's too small.
It's Doomfist.
Is that Doomfist?
Oh, Sparkle done next. Sparkle done next.
Ah shit.
Let's go back to you.
Huxall.
Shit.
You said you were going to pick Huxall. What do you mean, oh shit? You said in the pre-show you were going to go Huxall, no issues, and you actually hesitated. What is wrong with you?
No, I had to remember who I picked, man.
Write me down for Jinmu.
Oh my god, come on.
Jinmu? Does he even play Doomfist?
Oh, come on.
Okay, what? Next. Joe, go again.
Shit, who is it? Echo. Leave.
Fuck it.
Shit.
Bitch.
Shit. Alright, one pick, bro. Fledder.
You can't think of it. Okay, there you go.
We were all gonna go with Leave. hey, it's the base answer. That is the base answer. It's the correct answer, guys. Fuck it, Sparkle again. I thought his Echo was really fucking good.
Here we go.
Really, really good. But I would have picked Leave. I would have picked Leave.
Okay, Genji.
Genji. Sparkle. I'm going to Sparkle 3 in a row. All right, Yiska picks Huxall. Go, Joe, you're next.
My middle position is overpowered, by the way. I love it.
I've got Sparkle 3 in a row. How crazy is that?
I can't even think of another fucking Genji. Give me Choice A1. Why not? Run it down.
He's running it down. Holy fuck. This man played like 5 minutes of Genji in the...
Okay, Joe, you're allowed 1 minute and you spend like 5 seconds. You're allowed, you got
off the dome.
These answers are 5-second quality, if we're being honest. Like,
the only based answer he's had was Leave, and then everything else is like, okay.
He is going to steal my Hanzo pick, though.
Oh, you have Hanzo. Hurry up.
When I think of the best Hanzo, yeah, I'll go Libero.
Fuck.
Yep.
Just go Huxall again.
Yo, fuck. Profit.
Leave. Leaves Hanzo was so fucking good last year. Unbelievably good. So fucking good. I think he would have been my first pick anyway. Who's next? I can't see that.
Is that Junk?
Right, yeah.
I think it's Junk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, easy. I'm just gonna go Jake because it's the easiest answer, and fuck the rest of
God
you.
damn it.
I have such an
Fuck the
untouchable
rest of you.
answer.
I don't know.
It's a
I don't
literal
know.
untouchable
I have
answer.
such an
I actually-
untouchable answer.
I actually don't
There's
know.
no shot.
It's gotta be.
I've actually fucked the rest of you guys.
I don't. Jinmu.
Okay, not bad. Ready for this? To
Faith.
Vic.
Oh my god. Oh
Forgot
my
he
god.
existed. That's true. That's true.
And now we have Cassidy. Lip.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. Who did I?
This is an easy one for me because there's a lot of good
Okay,
cash players.
I'm
so
going with
I'm
the-
good no matter what.
I'm going with the Joe pick. I'm going Corey.
Okay, I like it. Respect.
Shy.
Ooh.
Shy's cast last year was unmatched in my opinion, easily the best. And I go by like who's best most recent most of the times. Who's next? May.
May.
Fuck.
Oh, this one's hard.
Ah.
I know who it isn't.
Pelican. Fucking Pelican. I don't know. Pelican. Atlanta played like fucking May Rush the whole year, and Pelican was the best. Fuck it.
I cannot believe that none of us picked Rascal for Echo, so I'm going Rascal for me.
Oh, not
That's a
bad.
good pick.
I think that was
That's
his best
actually a really
hero.
good pick. That was his
Yeah.
best hero. He actually really is good on the hero.
I'll say Yaki.
Oh, you
And
bitch.
then-
Your first pick for fire. Fuck you.
I will say Fleta.
Oh, okay. That's fine then.
Shinmu then.
Fuck. Sparkle. Give me Sparkle again. I've gone Sparkle 4 times. What? Yeah, dude. Sparkle's fire is fucking crazy, guys. It's actually so good.
Reaper.
It
It's
is
actually so good.
Reaper.
Reaper.
Ugh.
Oh shit. Who's good at Reaper?
Oh, I have one.
Fuck it, Striker.
Ah, god damn it. I gotta say Prophet then.
Why is Prophet such a beep second pick for you? I thought Prophet was. You said like pre-show was, you're just gonna pick Prophet for everything, and now Prophet's like, oh fuck,
Pretty
he's got my
much.
second choice.
Yeah.
I'm pulling this from like
Ah, shit.
Goats playoffs. I'm gonna
Right.
say Godsby.
Oh my god. I thought you had the correct answer that I failed to give.
Put a pin in it.
Here we go.
Who is this? Is this
Here's a-
Soldier?
Soldier.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta give it to Best Soldier. Oh, there's so many good ones. I'll say AKM.
Oh, god damn it. Eric actually predicted you. AKM he already wrote in for you. Wow.
Simp for the golden years.
Well, I think like I gotta pull a like morally feasibility clause and not pick the obvious one. So I will pick Saya player.
Okay. Oh, there's a name I wish.
Fuck. Not that many people played Soldier.
No.
I'll just say. Ah, fuck it. Give me Arns. Why not? And then Lip easily.
God damn it! It's hard.
As if I wasn't gonna put Lip.
I
for
was
that.
like,
true,
come on,
yeah.
guys. Come on,
He's going to give me at least 30 seconds to think about his. It's just like odds lip. Come on.
No.
Yo, this is hard, man. Who could? It's really hard. Like,
For Sombra.
I don't know.
Sombra's
We
not
had a
easy.
literal Sombra meta last year.
I know.
Fits.
A literal Sombra meta. Like it's
Fits.
half the league played
I'm going
Sombra.
Fits.
Come on.
I'm going Fits.
Give me Doha. And then it's Sim. I'm going based. I'm going Internet Hulk.
Oh, come on.
Hey, wait.
Like-
Does this have to be Overwatch League players?
No.
I'd like to see y'all's take on the best of each hero. There's no.
No. So it can be any player from the history of Overwatch.
Yeah, didn't limit.
Okay. All right.
History of Overwatch? I think this is such a shit hero that it deserves the answer Stebo.
Okay, can we hang on? I think we need to establish some rules because now we're getting to the stage where like, you know, I'm just gonna fucking say Yeetle for ball or something. You know, it's getting silly, guys. Like, you know, someone's gonna say fucking flats for Ryan. Like, you know,
Sure.
No. I'm not going to do that. It's just the troll picks, right? Like that nobody cares about.
We sticking to pros or what? Like, what's going on here? Like, we sticking to?
I would say we should probably stick to pros.
Okay.
That have played professionally at some point. Throughout Overwatch
I don't
history.
know, bro.
It's tough.
If you asked me with a gun to my head which player has even played a second of Symmetra, I wouldn't be able to answer you with confidence.
But that's not true. We just got out of a sim meta, you goof.
Well,
yeah,
NA played a lot of sim. NA played a lot of sim this last year.
I don't know. I cared so little about this hero. I'm just going to say.
Just say profit.
I'm just going to profit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then give me Sparkle. I actually was going to say Sparkle. I've gone Sparkle 6 times. I've gone Sparkle more times than you've gone Profit.
What's the
like
next
an
one?
arms race.
Should I go Sparkle again? No, I'm actually going to go.
Oh my god.
I'm actually going to go.
Oh, I have mine. Okay.
Yeah, let me.
Nero.
Oh,
Give me Nero.
Okay. Yiska?
Nero's top was fucking spicy in the playoffs. Really good.
Shit, I wanted to actually go Nero, so I'm going Pelican instead.
Oh, easy. Ready? DeFran.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I see you.
Ball.
Next.
Give me Gaga.
And now this motherfucker gonna say Fate. What do I have left? Shit.
Not fearless.
Is it actually Ball next? Oh, what? No, wait.
Yeah, it's Ball
Eric just
next.
said Tracer.
No, oh sorry.
Oh, it's Tracer.
Give me a sec.
Is it?
I think our frame is.
Oh, did you not clip it out?
Let me.
Oh, okay.
Let me move it up a little bit. Okay, there you go, viewers. Now informed. It's Tracer. Yes. So go Tracer.
So I have Tracer pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you go.
Oh, Dick. I don't know.
There's been a million.
I know, but it's like the paralysis of like too many choices. I'll say Prophet.
You just wanted to fuck Yiska.
This
you just
man.
wanted to fuck Yiska.
I was ready for him to say Striker, so I could like shotgun out Prophet immediately, but now I have to say Striker.
Okay. Give me Lee Vans. Easy. I think Lee actually was the best Tracer last year, and historically, Arns showed the highest peak on Widow we've ever seen.
Agreed, yeah.
So.
It's hard, man.
There's been other good Widows. Come on, there's been plenty of other good Widows.
Yeah, I'm thinking
think about Widow 1v1s. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, was there anyone better than Fleda? That's what I'm trying to figure out in my mind.
Yeah, the answer is easily yes. What? Come on.
Fleda was the best Widow in my mind in season 1.
Oh yeah, and there's 3 other seasons.
4 seasons ago. What?
Yeah, and
season 1 as if we haven't played Widow since season 1.
Because the volume of Widow play in season 1 is about 10 to 1.
It's very
Widow
high.
Play
Yes.
Of everything else.
Very true. Very true.
Come on, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, come on, pick
Bird Ring.
one.
Bird Ring.
Give me Kai.
Nice. I was wondering where he was going to make it. I was tempted to pick him for the Cassidy, but I was just that enamored by Shy that I couldn't do it. But I was very close to going Kai for Cassidy.
Very fair. All right. Where are we? Are we at ball now?
We're at ball now, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, give me Gaga.
Give me Fate.
Poor Avril.
Give me a fucking second. You need to fucking give me right now. Jesus Christ. Who else played ball after that?
You gotta say it.
God.
You gotta say the A word. You gotta say it. You can't.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
You're
That's
getting
not a
1
terrible
million.
one.
You're getting 1 million unless you think of arming.
See, that's what the people want me to say. The people want me to say that. Say it's him.
Ah.
But I need to use my 1 minute to do some research.
Fair. Could say glad to main tank last season.
No, definitely not. Eric, help me out here a little bit. What do we got?
Do we sort the tool by total damage done?
Don't think you can. I don't think you can.
I think it has to be. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah.
I think
I've looked across. I've seen there's Hanbin on there, but he's an off tank. I've seen Stan 1. Nah. Sato. Nah. Marvel. Nah.
Okay.
It's got to be. I mean,
This
it's got to be.
This is hard.
Oh,
What is
yeah.
it? Diva.
Diva.
Oh.
Diva is
See,
hard,
now-
bro.
It is. I have a name in mind, but I'm wondering. Excuse me. I just my coffee. I'm wondering if there's a better answer.
There's 3 answers in my mind.
Well, let's just spread them all out. I'll go with Hanbin. You can take Void, and then I don't know what Joe does. I'll take Hanbin.
I take Void, and then Joe goes.
Choi Hyobin.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't hate
There's
it.
actually 4.
I think he's still good.
There's 4. We're missing Fury. So honorable mention.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't do much last season, so you know whatever.
Choi Yobin, I think there's a Y in there, Eric. After the
Choi.
After the second H. After the second H.
Hog.
Oh my god.
There's so many meme picks, but I'm trying really hard to think of like.
There's 2 good ones.
Okay.
We actually did have a hog meta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah, gesture. You kind of have to.
Then I go super.
Yeah.
And now
I would have
you're-
not thought of that.
Now you're unevable again.
You guys are fucking annoying. You don't understand that? Jesus Christ. Bro, there's not even like a third option that's just like, oh, it's obviously this guy.
I think there is a good third option. But I want to torment you, so I won't give you a tip.
I have a meme pick if you want gesture. We can gentleman's handshake if you want gesture.
No.
You want a tip?
Is it Janu?
Which
Is Janu?
which team heavily overperformed because of the Roadhog comp? And who played that Roadhog?
Oh, yeah, Janu. Right?
Mm.
Oh, we're talking about Washington, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it
Wait,
was Decay on Zarya. Who was playing the
Oh,
Hog?
I'm dumb.
Yeah, was it not Janu?
I'm actually dumb.
Was it not Janu?
Yeah, it is. In my
It's
mind,
Janu,
I was.
right?
Yeah.
I was thinking of Janu anyway, so
Wait,
I mean, you've confirmed it.
Was it?
So we might as well just.
am I?
I'll pull it
stupid?
up. Hold on.
Why was it? When am I thinking Decay is on Hog?
No, he played Zarya, remember? Just like running at people with the fucking bubbles. Get like mad charge.
Hmm. I'm old.
Yeah, no, for sure he was.
It is Janu. Lock in Janu. Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
it is Janu.
Okay, Orisa
Lock it
has
in.
0 fun.
Orisa.
No fun.
Orisa, give me Gator. I think Gator's a pretty base
Shit,
pick for
that
this
was
one.
my pick. Fuck.
Sure.
Gesture.
Pick?
Yeah, well, you took super off me, so fuck you.
Starting hostile.
Orisa. Oh, that's a tough one. Give me. Oh, I can't even think of which shock tank played it. Oh fuck. Give me super. I don't even know if he played it, to be honest. I want to say that he did.
He would have had to at some stage.
Ryan?
There's been so NA is just like all Ryan. Come on.
I know. Yeah, give me Gator.
Super.
My man goes, oh fuck for Ryan. Now, okay, fine. Now I'm off fucking a little bit. Jeez, those are the two obvious answers, weren't they? Well, the problem is I have to go through Fearless. Give me Fearless. He was powerful. He was powerful on the right. Sigma, give me Hanbin.
Oh my fucking god! Now I'm in deep shit, bro.
There's so many good picks this season.
Bro, how are you blanking on Sigma?
Come on, there's an obvious one. There's a gimme here.
I don't want to say
gimmies,
Piggy.
yeah.
No, you can't force me to say Piggy.
You can't force me. No, I will not.
No, my brain won't let me think about anyone else but Piggy, so I'm saying Piggy.
We've infiltrated. Give me Krong.
Wow, you did Hawk really dirty here. Anyway, you took Krong. Keep going.
Give me Gusha.
Fearless.
Okay. Since we're saying historical, I think at some stage Gesture was up there, so I'm gonna put Gesture in there.
Right?
Because he has been historically like, you know, a top Winston in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Zarya. There's a few. Decay. Not even a tank play.
Sumitsu.
Best Zarya. For the life of me. Give me. I have so many. My brain just.
Think back to goats.
I know.
Take it back to goats.
Fuck.
Just say Faith. We know you want to.
Yeah, right. Give me. Oh fuck! This is hard. I actually have to go to the tool for this. This one's actually hard.
Real quick, what's the next one after Zarya? Because there's like a blank on the sheet.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I think that's just a space between tanks and support. So I think it's Ana.
So it's Ana next. I just got to think about what the next one is while Joe's blanking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be ahead of the curve here. So we got Ana Bat. Nice. Ana Bat Brig. Cool. Got it.
Yeah, I'll say Nene. Fuck it. I know he did the. I know he did the bad, but
he did the bad. All right, go Ana now. You got Ana.
Oh, this is Ana. Okay.
This should be easy. There's been a million good Ana plays. Been so many.
There are, but that's what makes it hard. There's not too many bad choices. Give me. Oh, there's so many good ones, man.
Don't pick mine. Don't pick mine.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll stay on brand. I'm gonna go Twilight.
Fuck. Okay. Fuck.
Wow, you're that upset about it.
I'm
so many good
deep
players.
shit. No, like. Fuck. No. Fuck. You forced me into German here.
Scheiße.
I actually cursed in German.
Lederhosen. Oktoberfest.
Fuck it, Shu.
Okay, I go Alarm, rest in peace, brother. Looking down on us from above.
True.
Followed by Shu. Alarm, Shu.
Okay.
As if I wasn't gonna. So you knew this was coming.
God damn it, Iris.
And now Joe's in the zone. He's in the third pick zone. Like fuck.
Give me. Oh, who had a good BAP?
Iris with a 1.
Give me. Shu's a good pick.
No,
Shu's a
Eric,
great
the
pick.
one is the I. The second I is the one.
Nice troll.
Give me. Yeah, my brain won't get off this. Give me Khan.
All right.
Brig. Oh. Now I could say Faith, but I'm not going to because I have an opportunity to say a right pick.
Baroy is so upset with you right now.
Give me Yvetel.
Then I'm going Alarm.
Okay.
Did Alarm play Brig?
Mm-hmm. Like
When?
a madman. That was famously like the situation where you were also playing flex support, and I remember having this discussion with
When the fuck did
Chris,
he play? I don't remember this at all.
Season 3.
2020.
It was in the Genji meta, and I was like, why did you guys put Alarm on Brig? Well, you saw us playing against Titans, right? Yeah. And Haxa was popping off, right? Against Shock, right? Yeah. And he didn't pop off as much against us, right? Yeah. Well, that's Alarm. That's why I remember that.
So who played the other support? Toby. Wait, no, I mixed
Season
up the
3.
teams.
Season 3, not Season 4. Season 3, who did they have? Was it Boombox?
Boombox star? Yeah, I think it was Boombox was still on the roster. So he was playing like proper flex and Alarm was playing Brig. As wonky as it sounds.
So here's my answer. I'm going to go 2 in a row here. People want me to say skewed, but I'm not gonna because I'm gonna go for the GOAT main support. Give me Lee Jae-gon twice.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, boom.
Wow.
The 2-piece.
Give me the back-to-back.
Well, then I gotta go.
I ain't gonna...
Funny Astro, right? Is it wrong that I know the capitalization for every single player, and I'm like my skin is crawling when it isn't happening?
I think you're just a 9 head. You're just too, you know.
I remember having a Twitter argument about that where everyone's like, "Oh, it's so cringe with like letters in it." It's like this is serious creative expression, you morons! Like, let them have some fun.
If you can do the right capitalization and where all the numbers are for last year's LA Valiant without looking at it, you're an actual god.
I don't even remember who's on that.
So that's not a good start. That's not a good start. Joe, you have a player.
Lucio, give me Toby. Mercy, give me Nisha.
Okay. Then I think I gotta go Yveltal.
Now I know people want me to say the obvious answer. People want me to say Neptuno, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go for the GOAT again. Give me Lee Jae-gon one more time.
Boom! Oh my God. The 3-peat.
Give it to me again.
Does he go for the 4?
No, give me Fielder.
Okay.
This is Moira, right? Give me Fielder for Moira.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is hard, bro.
Just wait till it gets to Joe's turn. It's not hard for you. It's gonna be hard for Joe.
No, it's already
not a bad
hard
pick.
for me. It is already hard for me.
That's not a bad pick.
It is not a bad pick.
Eric's got one for you.
It's not a bad pick. Now all I can think about is Roger Hong, but
did he even play more? I don't remember.
Yes, he did. He played it when we were doing like proto goats. There's a specific like Intel commercial that they have him. Soul's rolling out to point A, and he throws his healing orb like against the wall, and it bounces back and forth. I don't know why I remember that, but it is a thing. You can look it up.
I don't know if that's actually true. I'm just going with a distinct lack of Twilight in this list, so I'm going Twilight.
Oh, okay. You know who actually kind of impressed me when he was actually playing on Moira?
Baby.
Dogman.
Oh.
Dogman actually had kind of a crack.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, all right. I'm not gonna question you too. I'm just saying this is a best of all time, but you know, whatever.
I keep it's just such a hero that's like so unnoticeable.
I say this as a friend of Dogman as well, as a friend of Dustin. I'm not trying to fight a shit on him. I'm like, we're buddies. Don't get me wrong, but if he was here right now, he'd tell you don't fucking put him on this list. He would say that too. But
I dare
your choice.
I dare you to save Dogman on Zen.
Nah, sorry. That's a line now? Too far. Zen.
Shit, I'm lost here.
I'll give my Alarm vote.
Okay.
I'll put Alarm.
Alarm is a good one. I think I gotta go Violet.
Also a very good one.
Just give me a second. I'm gonna look up some stuff.
What do the people want? What do the people want you to say? You know what they want you to say, right?
I don't know what the people want me to say.
I don't know what the people. Yeah, people want me to say Khan. I actually don't know.
No, they want you to say Jonak.
No. Yeah.
Oh, they do. But see, I'm a contrarian, so and I don't know if I want to do that. The people do want me to say Jonak, but I don't know if I want to say Jonak.
Mm.
So I'm gonna take a second here. I'm gonna take a second here. I'm gonna use my 60 seconds. Fuck, he was MVP in season 1. I have to go Jonak, don't I? Shit, I have to.
You do?
He was. I can't put any heat on that season 1 MVP. It's too goated.
Tough.
Season 1 MVP is
It's
too
tough.
goated. I have to give it to him. I have to do it.
Who else is there?
He's got a fucking, he has an actual Zenyatta skin for him. Like I have to acknowledge that. I have to acknowledge that.
Who do you who were you trying to convince yourself it could be?
I was thinking Izayaki, even though you hate him. I was very pleased because Dragons played a phenomenal Brig Zen last year,
Right.
which is why I have Legion on him Brig. I know, I know Skewed is a really good Brig, but I think that Brig Zen from Dragons was unreal, and so I would have had both up there. And I'm very biased towards recent results because I think they're more relevant. Oh, who's next? But I don't know what the next hero is. I can't see it. You gotta.
I think that's it.
I think we got them all.
Oh, you don't.
That's it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Told you it wasn't going to take
we
that
only
long.
took 33 minutes for 96.
Yeah.
All right, we get to talk about them now.
Yes.
Let's see.
All right, who do we meme on?
Okay, so let's.
I mean, I know
DPS,
I've got some
DPS.
regrets.
Let's review these. Let's review these real quick.
Right.
Are we happy with Lip Prophet Arns? I would have said that Kai maybe could have been on should have been on this list.
For sure.
Who else played a really good Ashe?
Maybe
Shy could have been on this list. Fitz could have been on this list. Fitz really kind of peaked last year, but I think Soul's lack of results kind of.
I think you could argue for Fitz.
Fitz was such a good Ashe last year. Legit, he was unreal. He was actually so good. But Soul's overall results kind of push him down the list a little bit. Fans, especially the Philly fans, would probably want you to say Carpe.
Nah, I'm good. I just recently looked at those stats. I'm good. He's got some other, possible arguments to have. But.
Yeah. Bastion, I don't actually know. This is such a hard one for me. Me, I was just like, yeah, Architect did a cool thing. I guess Architect.
Yeah, Architect
bro, I could not fucking tell you who was a good Bastion. This is such
it was a good show.
It's a hero that was played in. It was such a blip in the meta, and it's a hero that literally does nothing but sit there and spam down range. It's so hard to show quote unquote skill on Bastion that it's impossible to answer this question.
I think that's probably the best answer for such a hero, where it's how many times have we seen Bastion genuinely meta and not Zephyr'd out last second to save a map on Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Right. I can think back to the GOATS playoffs where NYXL was doing it, but I couldn't fucking tell you who was playing Bastion for them. Was it SBB? I don't know. My Surefour came from the fucking Protect the President old rollout on Nepal.
Right.
And I was just that's the only other person that I can think of that genuinely has had more than an hour's worth of playtime on the pick. So I was I guess Surefour.
I'm very happy with my Doom pick. I think Sparkle is and has been the best Doom of all time, uncontested. Anyone who wants to say Haxol, suck my dick. It's been Sparkle. Sparkle was unmatched on that era, legitimately.
For the longest time as well. True. That's the thing. He just had way longer periods of dominance on it and made it work when many others couldn't. So Sparkle is pretty obviously.
His output on that hero is just higher than everybody else.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
Yeah.
I would have said I'm not trying to shit on Haxel. I think he was still one of the top Doomfist. I think a better answer than Jinmu would have actually been Sinatra for Joe, but
maybe
Really, I don't hate it as a discussion, but I rate Jinmu's Doomfist genuinely pretty high. Right. I've always thought that Chengdu could pull that ace out of the hole, and I genuinely only think that maybe Dallas can kind of rival them in that output. There's not too many other incredibly strong Doomfist, maybe Mirror. Am I misremembering him having a pretty cracked Doom?
It was very good, but I think his team's results have
for sure.
During Doom metas. You needed, I don't know if Gladiators let him down or he just wasn't as impactful as some of these other Dooms. But It just wasn't. He's the guy that plays Doom, but you don't put him on the Sparkle tier or anywhere close to it currently.
Oh, 100%.
So I don't know. Echo, I think our lists are pretty good. I think we probably picked the 3 best Echoes. If anyone, my number 1 would have been Leave if I had the first pick here. But I think Flitter is absolutely up there. I think Sparkle absolutely up there, because if you think about Dallas's success last year and how much Echo they played and how much success they got out of like all their Echo performances, my man Sparkle's boom right there. He's fucking carrying. And it's actually shout out to Doha as well, who actually picked up that hero when Sparkle needed to go Tracer. But Sparkle's Echo was actually pretty damn phenomenal. I think I'm trying to think like who else had a really good Echo. I would have said Pelican as an honorable mention.
Pelican?
Yeah, yes and no. I think Rascal was the initial guy that looked good, but the amount of people that surpassed him was like, it's not funny. Like everybody surpassed him. Like fucking Prophet surpassed. Prophet had such a slow start on Echo, and I think Prophet surpassed Rascal as well. Like it's a very classic like tortoise and hare race where Rascal got off the grid really quickly and then he just fucking crashed in the first lap, and everyone else just fucking went past him. So
agreed. I think the only other name that's missing here is probably Pelican, like you said. I think if we traded positions, like you got Leave first, I think I probably would go Pelican.
Genji, I'm very happy with Sparkle again. I think the hardest carry we've ever seen on Genji. Super pleased with that. Just an unreal performance. Huxel, really great pick. I think you might have missed out on an EQO pick here for you, Joe, but
yeah,
not terrible.
Or a Yaki pick.
I was thinking about Yaki, but I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to save him for either Tracer or like something else. I'm like, no, Yaki like deserves to be somewhere else, because I was also trying to give like a unique answer for each. I didn't want to double up, just personal like
and
rule.
Here I am with 3 Sparkles in a row.
Hey, I'm not here to judge. I just wanted to like, okay, let's challenge ourselves. Let's think of like somebody different for each one, which was more fun.
You invented more rules for yourself here for some reason. I did.
It's a little bit more fun. I don't know.
You're like, yeah, this is hard mode already, but how do I play Elden Ring with only one hand?
I'm trying to not get hit, Choi, that was like the only other person like this season that kind of came to mind. I think like historically, maybe you could like argue like, who are you? Maybe you could go Fleta, but that was another pick that I was just like, like he's probably better suited for something else. And then it's like Yaki based off of like one meta, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. It's a throwaway. I didn't like it either, guys. Don't get me wrong. Flame me in the comments if you didn't like it. Leave a like and subscribe. Only 50% of you are likes. Yeah, right. But yeah, I don't know. Choice in there.
So I'm very happy with my Leaf pick here, because I think he had. I would have said personally, and I have said publicly personally that I believe that he had the best Hanzo that I saw last year. But there's a lot. I think historically we've been quite blessed with really good Hanzos. Prophet Libero among them. I would have potentially have said for this list 2 big ones that are missing, or 3 big ones that are missing. Striker, Corey, Erster were 3 really big ones that could have also made this list.
That's a good one.
That's a good pick. I like the Corey one.
There's like 6 different players that could have made this list.
Oh, that's right. Corey fucking the stage 4.
Yeah.
Stage 4. Was that 2019?
Season 3.
Was it 2020?
2020. Because I remember that Erster and Corey were like top 2 position stat wise for Hanzo, and they were clear cut as well. Everyone else was so far below them. They were the kings of Hanzo in 2020. Striker had some historically really good performances on Hanzo as well. But I'm more recency biased in terms of I think current players are better than former players for the most part. And I think Leave's peaks on Hanzo last year were fucking crazy. Like, oh my god, crazy. Sure. I don't really have. I think Jake is actually maybe not the best pick here. It's a good meme pick for me because everyone is like, oh yeah, the Jake rat. But I actually think Tavik is a much better pick than what I chose personally. I can't remember how much Jimmu played Junkrat, but I think Tavik is a genuinely good pick here. Whereas mine's like, Jake probably was one of the better Junkrats. But
just on volume.
I just went for like that's. In fact, this is. I can happily admit this was definitely the one time where I absolutely did pick what the audience wants me to pick.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I don't think it's horrible. Like just on volume alone, there's not too many people that like genuinely were like, yes, give me the rat. Like Houston genuinely had and found success with him playing Junkrat on DPS in season 1, and like you have to give him a little bit of credit there, right?
Yeah, he's the only player
It's
that's
not bad.
associated with Rat. Like if you
Oh,
were
for
to
sure.
like, who's
Yeah.
associated with that? Oh, it's
Who's-
obviously Jake.
Jake,
Obviously.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's here's hero effectively.
I think also Libero is kind of missing from that list, right? Like, he played a bunch in season 1, if I remember correctly, and the map count sort of
Couldn't
reflects that.
fucking tell you, to be honest.
We've never had a junk meta outside the one time Junk's double conk mines were absolutely broken. And I specifically remember during that time, Jake was farming. He absolutely farmed during that time because it was his time to shine. But beyond that, I think we've never had a junk meta, which just hasn't happened.
Misremembering like a Mangachu having like a pretty nasty junk. I know his fire was good, but I don't remember like.
When did Mangachu play? Season 3?
No, had to be like. Oh, I don't know.
That's
where
it's. We've never had a junk meta outside of season 1, from my memory.
Yeah, no, it's usually just been like a pocket pick. I think Atlanta played it randomly on like Anubis B every once in a while, but I think that was just Urser.
Yeah, that wasn't a meta, yeah.
Yeah, no.
This next one's really interesting. So I think this list could be huge, actually.
Oh, for sure.
Again, I'm a bit more recency biased with my pick. I think the correct pick here is Lip, for the most part. Although I would have said that. I know Corey is a lot like there's a lot of rose tinted glasses there, but I think Kai has been way better than Corey has been on this hero for me. People will probably be
true.
this is another hero where people are probably like, where's Exy? Where's Carpe?
Yeah.
Where's Happy?
Carpe's a
where's Birdring?
I would have probably picked one of those over Corey, to be fair. But yeah. If I had more time to think about it.
Yeah.
I think this is maybe where Fitz comes in, personally.
Yes, yeah, but there's a lot of players, but I think Fitz hasn't had some of the peaks that some of those other names. Like of the highest peaks, I think Exy actually has probably got robbed in this category by all three of us. Exy got hard robbed in this category by all three of us, to be fair.
The best? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Corey's probably tough. Like 5 or 6 below the actual best. Yeah, that's unfortunately.
I just think for me again, like what I saw last season, Shy was doing correct. Like I think Kai also did, but Shy for me had just these jaw-dropping moments of like, this shouldn't be possible.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's what I got. Whereas Kai was probably the more consistent player overall, giving Atlanta all the consistent stats and putting them in victorious positions, again giving them the wins that you'd expect. You know, that's probably more that. Like if I was to pick who I want on my team, I'd probably pick Kai for that consistency. But I'm just too enamored by how jaw-dropping Shy's highlights were of his peaks. It's not like he was inconsistent either. It's just like, you know, Kai did more overall, whereas Shy probably had a high peaks. But either is fine here. I struggled on May. I'm not gonna lie. I think there were better picks for May. I just couldn't think of them in time, and I kind of buckled here. It's not a bad one because I think Atlanta played. Well, I don't think Atlanta did play a lot of Ryan May sim type of stuff, right?
Yep.
And of those, I mean, Pelican May has got a huge job. Everyone does, but May has got a big job for initiation with how you play with the ice walls and how you're doing the right click. Your right click accuracy is really important. Pelican also dominates a lot of the May stats as well. So I think Pelican's a good pick. Under pressure, I think I actually landed a pretty decent pick. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I don't hate Pelican. I don't hate Rascal. Yaki was somebody who stood out like on Florida, who I thought was a pretty bad team this season, but he was noticeably like very instrumental when he was on May. I think if I had to change and I had the freedom, I'd probably take Rascal just because like that was his best hero. And yeah, I don't know. I don't hate him. I think we did a pretty alright job with a weird hero. I think that's probably our best weird hero. Is
I think this is the one where, like, as down as I am on Rascal generally, I think this was by far his best hero, and he was actually really, really important for Philly during stage 1 of last year when they were playing a lot of May.
A lot of May, Arissa. Yep.
In your mind,
I'm also
sorry.
Yeah.
In your mind, if you categorize heroes, right? Is May in the weirdness tier of Torbjorn and Sim for you guys? Because it's
close.
No.
It's like a gatekeeper to that like a weird tier where it's
Yeah,
like,
it
all
is,
right,
it is. I was gonna say Torb's not in there, but then I remembered how much Torb actually got played. I was like, it was. I think Sim ended up being the most normal of those three heroes last year.
Really? Wow.
They're all
Okay.
pretty. I would say that Torb is the bottom. It goes. I think to me, it goes Sim, May, Torb, and the only reason I say that is because there are compositions where you would sooner drop the May than you would the Sim.
Yep.
Right. For example, Sim Junk, you drop the May. Where I think Sim is often more important in that kind of rush style, or at least it became more important than May was. I think they're both very important. The obvious answer is you play both, but I think teams would sooner drop the May than the Sim because the Sim just became too big of a deal. Damage, mobility, everything. But yeah, I mean, long answer short. Yeah, I guess they're all those three heroes live in the same bubble of weirdness. That's like they are the three Pokemon starters in like the forgotten Pokemon generation that people don't talk about. Which I don't play. You're gonna have to tell me which one it is because I don't play Pokemon. But
I mean, this upcoming one is pretty goofy looking. I'm not gonna lie.
What's the goofiest? Whatever. Tell me in the comments. What is the goofiest Pokemon generation ever? And that's the generation where Sim, Torb, May are your three starters. Who are you picking?
True,
if those are your three
right?
starters?
Like the weirdest would have to be Bastion and Junkrat. No, that's the weirdest in my categorization. Bastion.
Yeah, but they're not real heroes. We're talking about real heroes here, like heroes that actually exist in the game.
Right.
True.
Like heroes that actually exist in metas and actually have a staple part in the game.
Actually, yeah.
You know, I actually love that. You know, the Mace Sim Torb. Torb is the fire type. May is the water type, and Sim, I guess, has to be the grass type,
grass,
just because you know. Yeah, those are your three starters.
Where's Hawk?
Where's what?
Where's Hawk in terms of weirdness? Hog. Roadhog.
Just isn't a real hero.
I just put tanks in a different category here. I'm only talking about DPS with this.
They're like the pseudo legendaries, you know.
Yeah, Hog and Orisa are the legendary Pokemon of this weird generation set that we have going on.
The weird legendary unfun Pokemon.
Yeah, you know how they normally name. You know how they normally name the game after legendary. So we have Pokemon Hog and Pokemon Orisa.
Horse and pig.
The covers of these two, you know, this generation of Pokemon titles. I'm loving that.
Oh my god.
Legendary Pokemon Hog and Orisa. I think we nailed Farah. I think we legitimately
there's so
nailed
many
it.
good picks.
I think these are the top three. Does anyone disagree that these are legitimately the top three?
No.
For
I
Farah?
think some contenders truthers will probably be like, well, what about Ding? It's like, bro, he didn't play. He played in contenders and looked phenomenal.
Who was the
However,
who was the Farah Stage 3 Dragons 2019? The one that when they won.
I think it was Ding.
Was
that
Ding,
not
right?
Ding? Yeah. Pretty sure.
Because I know in the back of my head, Achilles is yelling at me, Ding, Ding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stage
it is a
3
good
finals.
pick. But like when you go, if we're doing like Overwatch as a whole, you look at Sparkle and as much shit, anybody who's like spoken to me about Sparkle and like hyping him up before, like as much shit as I give him for sometimes feeding, this boy makes plays and is like constantly like putting his team up a player, right? On this hero, among his other heroes, right? Jinmu, I think, is another great pick for Chengdu, obviously, is another pocket pick of his. And then, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just, I think of Farah, I think of Fleta. I look at Shanghai this season. I look at, you know, his previous time and on Seoul. Like, that's just somebody who I associate good Farah play with.
Okay. I think this is I think of all the heroes, of all the players, this is the most accurate. The Farah 3 is the most accurate of them all. Mostly because there haven't been that many Farahs. And I think all three have, to me at least, surpassed where Ding was. I think some like real rose tinted glasses dudes out there be like, oh, what about Tavik? If you want to go all the way back, but no, I think these guys have all.
Then you almost
gone way
gotta
past
say
that.
Seagull. No shot.
Who's the Oh, what about Tailspin? Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Reaper. I think Striker was like an obvious answer. I'm trying to remember who else played Reaper. Doha played a lot of Reaper, didn't he?
I think.
But he's not like would you say he's known for it?
I feel like
It's another one of these heroes.
I think Godsby. I think that's the only one that doesn't sit super right with me.
Yeah, that's what
I think Prophet did some reasonable stuff on it.
Summon
I don't know if I would
instead of God's
Reaper.
Yeah. No?
Yiska, you didn't even pick Somansu.
No, yeah, because
you
I picked the correct pick, right? I picked
Oh
Prophet.
yeah.
I seem to remember, and I could be very wrong, that like a lot of Spark success towards the end of like 2019's playoffs came down to like Godspeed doing some like goofy shit with Reaper. I could be wrong in that,
Right.
but like my memory is like, yeah, Godspeed did a lot of like TP baits and like hid very well, got a lot of value with his ult, which to me denotes that like he was like able to kind of like not ultimate track, but ability track like the cooldowns and whatnot. And yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I probably would have said, did I have first pick? I don't remember, but Striker's not bad.
Stats say we're missing Bird
No,
Ring.
I had first pick. You had last pick, yeah, because I did Sparkle Striker.
Okay. Yeah. I Striker's not a bad one. You say
huh?
Yes, kid. You say stats and say
Indicate
Bird Ring?
we should be thinking about Doha and Bird Ring.
Huh.
I would have also said Decay for this one,
Maybe,
potentially.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe as a maybe like outside pick. Again, I don't think he's known for it. But Decay basically only played this hero last year.
Yeah.
And you know, in Washington's good moments, Decay was at the spear front with Reaper. So
Yep.
Agreed.
yeah, I think Lip is a pick that we could have also gone for here. I think Lip. To be fair, because there's a plus and a minus side of this. Lip did well, but he didn't play that much Reaper. He played Reaper mostly in June Joust just to fuck Dallas a little harder just to try and fuck Dallas, but that's about it. So this is one of those classic Lip heroes where he just shows up for 10 minutes and his stats blow up because they won.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my god, Lip's the best. But he played this hero for like a very limited amount of time. Okay, who do we got? Soldier. I struggle a little bit here. I think this was one of, I don't know, like I think some fans are probably pick Jake, but like I don't think Jake really had the same heights as the top hit scans in this position. But I did. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled a lot here. I think I was also last pick. You were first pick, Joe. You got AKM, which is an obvious answer. Sire player, yeah, I see that as well. Would any of you have had said someone different to Arns? Did I?
Maybe Prophet.
Did I drop the? Oh, shut up. Did I drop the bag here?
Genuinely, didn't they pull out the soldier during season 3 playoffs when not playoffs in season when other teams wouldn't? Am I misremembering this?
Prophet?
What is that?
Yeah.
Bro, I should have. Speaking of Prophet, I should have. His ex team. I should have brought up Hureg. Hureg played the soldier in Apex.
Why?
That was one of the biggest soldier metas we've ever had.
Yeah.
And Hureg fucking pounded on the soldier and led his team. Wow, I mean, Prophet was also on that team as a Tracer because it was a Tracer soldier meta, right? Season 4 Apex. Tracer soldier meta. That was when that was
Tracer soldier.
That was the same meta that AKM popped off on soldier.
Yeah.
I think jokingly we said behind the scenes someone could have gone for Harry Hook here. But now we're going way too far. I don't like picking dudes from pre-Overwatch League for the most part.
Yeah.
I think like everyone, if you haven't surpassed Apex level of play 4 seasons deep in Overwatch League, like what the fuck's going on?
You weren't really worth your weight at that point.
I gotta go for someone else here. I kind of panicked and went for Arns because I feel like.
What do the stats say?
It could be Bird Ring as well. Is what the stats say.
Could be Bird Ring.
Like as much as it's weird, but like it feels like you might still be underrating Bird Ring in the history of Overwatch as a whole.
I could have gone for Kai. Does Kai that play that much? Everyone's got a little bit of playtime. There's the problem. Is like everyone's got just a tiny amount of play. No one in the last 4 years. Have we had a soldier meta in the last 4 years? I feel like we really haven't. Not a serious one. Not like
who I think could be good on it. Probably BQB. If there was like a soldier meta, I think you put him on that. Right. Like he to me feels like the archetypical like taunt bot that like just wants to accept the aggression and just run around like an idiot.
I can tell you one team that did actually play a lot of soldier last year. It was actually Dallas. Who did it? Was it Sparkle or Doha that played the soldier? I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was Doha because Sparkle would have been on the Tracer.
Yeah.
That's my
See, I
that's my
remember it
feeling. I think it
backwards.
was
Was it
Doha.
Sparkle?
Do you?
I thought it was Sparkle that pulled out. Yeah, because
What
they
the
were.
fuck does Doha play then?
It was on Kings. You remember like their Kings rollout where there was just like Sparkle on Soldier and they would just run it down. I think it was against FAR teams in particular. Where, like people were trying to like.
yes.
Yeah,
Because
because Sparkle can't play the well, no one on that team could play the Cassidy. So what can they do?
Yeah.
So they opted into the Soldier.
I'm just gonna say this was too hard for me, and I just fucking threw it.
It's a tough one.
It's just too hard for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking. This is actually a good list. I actually think this list is good. I got the easy one.
Okay.
I mean, you can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Fitz Doha, I do like Fitz Doha a lot. I think Doha is still a top Sombra. He got gapped by Lip, but so did everyone.
Yeah.
Fitz to me would have been probably my second pick. Fitz is also Lip's second pick for what it's worth. Fitz is the only other Sombra that Lip really has a lot of respect for that he mentioned.
Okay.
So I like the Fitz pick here a lot.
I think there's a lot of people like even like mid-season. I remember talking with like people in our Discord. They're like, "Oh, like wouldn't you say like Leave or Jinmu?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think statistically they point to that, but like I don't know. Like my eye test was not like sold on them in the slightest. And I know that there are like clips of like them just fucking up, but it's past that. It's like the frequency at which they just didn't land.
I think you might have that opinion would hold true for someone like Leave, because I think Leave did fumble a bunch of Sombra plays, but Jinmu actually had a pretty solid Sombra. I would have said that overall, Jinmu had a better Sombra than Doha last year.
Probably.
And that is mostly because there were not very many situations where Doha was actually playing the Sombra, because Dallas were much more focused on playing a brawl composition, playing a lot of Rhine, all that kind of stuff. And they were not focused on playing dive at all for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
And Jinmu was part of in my opinion, the only other good team that was playing ball dive, which requires you to have a good tracer and Sombra as well, of which I think Chengdu did. I think Jinmu had some inconsistency where in the playoff, to be fair, everyone outside of Leave had some poor gameplay in the playoffs from Chengdu. It's like Yavelto reading manga somehow just brought down the entire team, but not Leave because he's a god, but everyone else just faulted. There were some moments in regular season games and qualification to Hawaii matches, to Hawaii stages, where the Chengdu dive with Jinmu on Sombra was flawless. Where Jinmu's setups on the Sombra were unbelievably good. Like it was in the exact perfect places. A mess of a 6v6, a complete, Overwatch soup of a mess of a situation, and Jinmu would find that perfect manual hack on exactly the right target at exactly the right time, and I'm like, that's the mark of a great Sombra player. But didn't show that in playoffs, sadly. So I think that soured my opinion a little bit. But I think overall, I would have said that Jinmu did a lot more than Doha did last year on Sombra.
Agreed. I would tend to agree.
Now you trolled a bit with the internet whole pick here, because I think there were too many sim players last year to go with. That wasn't Overwatch League.
There were too many. It's another one of those heroes to me that's like, it feels so team focused. Like, what are we doing with our TPs? I feel like that's a team decision. Like, it's not like a hero that you can like individually. If anything, it's like decision making. Like, how many times are you just like solo TPing? Because this is something that I feel like, AVRL, maybe you can speak to. Like, am I wrong in thinking that there was like a lot of teams that, or like a lot of sim players last season that would like do like solo TP backlines to try like assassinate somebody? Just they would TP behind and they would go in by themselves and then they would just get picked. Or they would get picked.
I remember seeing some plays like that, and it can work, but it's just
it was just so risky to me.
I don't know that I agree that it's. I mean, I agree in some sense. Obviously, it's a very big team hero, but Sim has the highest potential for damage out. I think Sim has the individual highest DPS output of any hero in the entire game. So statistically speaking, putting out damage is Sim's like primary role. She's crazy for damage output, which is why she's so integral to the brawl composition more so than any other hero, including Mei. And protecting Sim is crazy. So there's a lot of team play in there in terms of saving your Sim, pocketing your Sim. She's the one that cannot fucking die at all, ever. And, if your Sim stays alive and the other team's Sim is dead, you just win the fight, because Sim's damage output it skews the entire fight unbelievably hard. So Sim damage output and your ability to land left clicks and right, well, left click is what it is, but like right clicks, you're landing those is that's pretty hard to do consistently. There's definitely skill there. I think the reason I picked Sparkle for me is because there was Dallas were the ones that I think kind of, do I use the word revolution? I think they kind of introduced and pioneered most of the sim TP stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Because I remember not seeing as much sim in stage 1. I remember seeing it was mostly Cassidy May. That was the default for Brawl teams. And then Dallas started introducing Sparkle and Sim. I think it was started June Zhao, so it might have been towards the end of May. Basically, when no one else was playing Sim, Sparkle and Dallas were playing Sim. And they started pounding teams on that hero. And Sparkle, I remember doing some crazy shit on Sim all throughout the year. Now, they slowed down on Sim gameplay a lot, because if you watched it back to NA mirrors, if they were Sim versus Sim, Sparkle, because he's the best Doomfist in the world, he's like, well, I'm going to go Doom and just punch the Sim into a wall and kill her instantly, which he does quite often. So he stopped playing the Doom. Sorry, he stopped playing the Sim for a lot when other teams would start playing the Sim so that he could hard counter them. But he had a pretty phenomenal Sim last year, in my opinion. For Sim players, I got to pick an NA player, and I think the NA team, obviously, that had the best performance overall, that's not called Atlanta, is Dallas, which also brings me to my other points. I think Kai could have been on this list because Atlanta did a lot of Sim stuff and Kai was a guy.
True.
And I don't really remember Prophet playing Sim last year, but I think you struggled on this one. I think this is one you struggled on, Yiska. You weren't too sure who to go for.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't care for the gameplay that this hero provides. I will never review anything that happens with her. It's just not my cup of tea.
There is there's cute shit that happens with Sim. Like I remember Glads. I think AVRL hits really true with, looking at Dallas and to kind of branch off from that point. Like, isn't it funny that like Dallas like injects Sim or like helps to push like the Sim narrative only to like reverse Uno card and then play like
they have
Doomfist.
the counter.
Yeah, and then they counter it. Like that's like I doubt it was like that thought out, but I think that's comical.
I wouldn't put it past Rush. I mean, he's that kind of nine head, but
if that is genuinely true, then fucking props.
Dallas
to that.
Are playing that many steps ahead in this galactic.
That's nuts. That would be absolutely bonkers.
That was, by the way, the moment I remember when there was an interview with Rush. It was like, well, if we can't play the meta, we're just going to invent the meta. And I think the moment that they debuted Sparkle Sim and it was working like hella good, that was the moment I was like, oh shit, Rush is he's not kidding. This guy's not joking. Like he actually literally invented him, and then the rest of NA played Sim after that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So it was just,
and it was like a wildfire.
It was just, and that was the first, and then they also did the Lucio Mora stuff first as well. So multiple times, Rush was just like, I'm actually going to invent the meta, and he did.
Yep.
So props to Dallas for that. I'm very happy with my Nero pick. I think watching playoffs, which had some of the more refined. So here's the thing about Torb. You don't see Torb until you need to introduce him to counter dive. Because Torb is really good at annoying Tracer, annoying Genji, annoying all the dive heroes. He's actually annoying for Echoes. I think Echo does counter Torb for the most part, but he's still annoying for Echo because you have to use your stickies on the turret. You have to address the turret. It's like poking damage into the sky. And if you're not playing a Mercy, as an Echo player, you hate taking random, licks of damage from nowhere. You hate taking chip damage because you're not getting pocketed by Mercy, and you don't want to have to force your Brig and your Zen to throw too much at you too early. So it is annoying for Echo to deal with. And a lot of Echo meta evolved past the Mercy, I feel, as we got through the year. So Torb became more and more annoying. And I think looking at playoffs where teams like Shock had to play, if you're playing against Chengdu, if you're playing against teams that do play dive, you're going to have to bring out the Torb because I think Shock were not prepared to play dive at all.
No.
And of the teams that, was really trying to hard force the brawl, hard force the Torb in that kind of manner, Nero stood out to me big time. So gave it to him. Still, recency bias. I could have said Defran, I could have said Mangachu, could have said XYZ player, but could have said Jinmu even. It's one of his silly heroes.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Nero just impressed me the most.
It's also really hard for a hero that has fundamentally changed to that degree over the years, right? Same for Sim.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're essentially not playing the same hero anymore. The mechanics change fundamentally. While it was like, who had the best turret placement at one point in time, like at another point in time, it became about like ult usage was huge. And then, I mean, the entire shooting mechanics of that hero changed as well, right? So it's really hard to say in comparison.
Yeah. Some decent picks.
I also look at, by the way, like, have we had a Torb meta and who was good during that meta? and I cannot remember. Okay, I think pre-Overwatch League we had some tour metas where a support player would not you would like solo Mercy, and then your other support player, your flex support player, would put up a turret and defend. That's when Torb used to throw out the cookies, and that was like pseudo healing. So you'd play Torb in like a flex support position. But I'm talking like in proper 2-2-2 in Overwatch League. Has there been a Torb meta? And when was that? How long was it? How important was Torb? And I think the one that ticks those boxes off for me the hardest was last year. Genuinely, I think last year was one of the bigger Torb metas that we'd seen, and it was a response to dive.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, well, who in my opinion was the best Torb during that? And it's got to be Nero. So that's how I got to that position. I think Tracer, we nailed this one, but I think fans will be upset we didn't put Kevster in here. If someone else took leave, I would have probably picked Kevster, if not Striker. I don't hate the Prophet pick. I think Prophet also deserves to be there. Leave to me was the obvious choice. He was easily, in my opinion, both the best Hanzo and the best Tracer last year. No contest. All the Kevster fans are gonna dislike me for saying that, but again, suck my dick. Leave was the best.
You think we're getting hate for not having SBB in here?
No, I think he got overtaken. I think SBB was good. He was good during the time of World Cup when he dominated Sinatra, but beyond that, more and more players started overtaking. Also, and this is not his fault at all. But last year he didn't play at all. That's not his fault. But you know, if there was a time for him to prove that he could have been, and there were don't get me, there were opportunities. Like there were times when like if you are Sol and you want to play Echo Tracer, you should be doing Prophet Echo, Sabiolby Tracer. But they never did that. Right? And we can say like, oh yeah, what about the Chinese team? Bro, there's plenty of non-Chinese teams in APAC you could have pulled Sabiolby out against. And you didn't do that. So
Yep. Yeah, I think I like Kester. I think I was definitely swayed in my opinion that like everybody's hyping this kid up. He's like the next coming of like Christ. And like I get it. But when you look at like the pedigree of like a lot of these players who have played in the league, have dominated and extremely well. Granted, it's not necessarily Kevster's fault that he couldn't play in the league, but I think he's just a matter of circumstance. I think, I wouldn't hate him as like an honorary mention fourth pick.
This is one of those categories that probably needs 4 instead of 3, but it is what it is. Like if we had a 4th available, I guarantee Kevster would have made it.
Probably. Yeah.
And I personally would have picked Kevster over Prophet for me. It's just because I think Kevster's output was higher than Prophet last year.
Agreed.
Eric saying Dark Horse for Dante, who missed a Sombra. Yeah, but I don't think Dante is on the scale of Fitz, Doha, Lip. And because when you talk about Doha, I'm not just talking about Doha's last year performance, where I think it dipped.
Just
Doha's peak performance, which is 2019, during the Doomfist Sombra meta. He was the fucking Sombra back then. Lip was a nobody during that time. Doha was the fucking Sombra. So there have been historical times when Doha was like unbelievable, you know. And I think Fitz was the only guy that like extremely good Sombra after Lip. So I think I think the Sombra list is one of our better lists that we have on here. Arns Kai Birdring, powerful. Does anyone have any disagreement? Are we missing somebody here?
I feel like the people want DM.
We're missing DM. Yeah, we missed DM.
DM. That's not a bad one. But I feel like that's just like that. Is it wrong to call it a narrative? I feel like it's just perpetrated or perpetuated from like the Widow 1v1s.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of that weight comes from that.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's a bad Widow, but like when you look at like historically, like who's played in like the biggest matches on the biggest stage, DM didn't get a ton of playtime.
Restaurants.
Yeah.
Hanging with the coolest dudes.
You didn't smooch the hottest guys, man.
Yeah, he wasn't kissing the hottest dudes. Like,
I think you also.
Yeah, I don't know.
You kind of have to say Carpe, right?
Bro, we hard like beefed Carpe. No, I don't. Do we?
I don't think so.
I don't think you have to say Carpe. Well, you. Oh, fuck, you do, don't you? Shit, you can't. He peaked hard in season 1 with Widow. That's true.
Yeah.
His season, everyone remembers the season 1 Widow performance was kind of crazy.
He also just
fuck. That's true.
Right.
But over Kai though, I'm looking at Birdring as maybe like a suspect pick, but like I don't think I'd put him.
Birdring's if I had to pick one suspect pick out of the three, gun to head, to me it's also Birdring.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I'm just saying if I had to pick one suspect here, it can only be Birdring. I would have also said Exy really played well on this role as well. Exy did super good on Widow. It was one of his other. He had two good heroes, Cassidy and Widowmaker, and then everything else just like didn't exist.
He just wouldn't play Ashe.
Exy is a literal two-trick in that regard. So
I will also say, I don't know, like
Decay.
Decay, yeah. Kai doesn't strike
Decay
me
is not a bad shout.
That good of a pick, to be honest.
Oh, that's where I probably would fight you.
Well, the thing is like I think a lot of people, and this includes coaches, legitimately put Kai as the best hit scan in the world,
right?
Currently, and I think that's got to hold some weight. That's got to hold some weight.
Sure.
I look at him specifically at like mid to long range. I look at him on Ashe, and I look at him on Widow. Like even going back,
I have no beef on Ashe.
Yeah,
I just feel like he has.
I would say Widow more than Ashe.
In a he has never thoroughly had to really fight for that position. Like he has a fifth of the maps that Carpe has played.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
he's never played in a true Widow meta. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
because last year, 2021. That was last year. 2020, that was the year before. When he was on Valiant were not a good enough team for his. And even then, I think he did really well in Widow, even though despite his team quality. But his team quality was not going to be good enough that they were ever going to contend with Arns on Shock. Even if Kai was as good as Arns, the rest of the team fucking falls apart straight away.
Right.
Which means you will never get a fair shot at having an honest duel with Arns in that matchup when the rest of the player quality on the other 5 players is like a fucking, that's a Grand Canyon divide. Apologies to those LA Valiant players of 2020 rather. You were good, but like fuck, Shock was on a different level. Whereas last year, 2021, I think Kai was definitely the best hit scan player, but we didn't get a strong enough Widow meta for him to kind of prove that, especially in NA. In NA, you were not going to see that. Yeah. So to that point, I do agree with you, Yiska, that he hasn't had to fight in a real Widow meta for that title.
Yeah.
But
because it feels like the iconic part about being Widow is about winning the 1v1 and being in the mirror, right?
A little bit, yeah. I think you have to be careful with that because if you want like the like storybook like counter Widow, then the people you put. I think DM's not a bad shot. I think the people immediately think of Linkser, to be honst.
Of Gesture, who beat Brandon.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I guess it shouldn't be the overwhelming thing. Yeah.
I think it's important. Baby Bear was also really good on this hero, but I think maybe that's going a little bit too far down the list now. I think I will say one thing. I think we can all agree that Carpe did get snubbed for this list.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I do think that Carpe got snubbed here.
Yeah.
I think the only spots...
not by me. Arns coded.
Yes.
Yeah, not by me. I'm looking at you two.
I think the only like tables that he can sit at are Cassidy or Widow, and like I don't hate those picks by any means. Like I think if you swap Birdring and Carpe, I'm okay with that. I still think that's probably the most suspect. But Cassidy, that's tough. I think he's good. I think he could be argued, but is Corey that far off?
Yeah, no, he is. I think I completely memed it. Like, I think I memed it. Right.
That's fine.
Wrecking Ball?
That is what it is.
I probably memed one or two in there as well. Yeah, Wrecking Ball.
I mean, who are you really out? Who else are you going to say?
I think this is it. I think the fact that I was last pick and I'm like, nah, it's. I gave everyone else a fair shot. I was like, okay, who else can I look at? And
Miss me with the hydration.
It was literally no one. I was like, all right, fuck it. It's got to be Among. Then there's no one else.
Yeah.
I think this is the old adage of like, oh yeah, of the top 3 best ball players in the world, Chengdu has fucking got 2 of them. So it's like, well done. So no, I don't think there's anything to add for Wrecking Ball. It's simply just those three.
I think it's the correct list.
I think we mentioned this at the time, but Fury might have potentially been snubbed here, but I still think this is a really good list. I still think this is a really good list. Just remember, Choi also won a Grand Finals MVP, one of the best off-tank D.Va players of all time.
Yeah.
I don't hate this list. This is one of those lists that I think needs 4 instead of 3, but
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think unanimously. Well, I shouldn't speak for everybody, but I think my 4th pick probably would have been Fury. I'm a big Choi simp, but I have been since like X6. Like I think he's nuts.
Yeah.
I think he's so good.
I think the interesting.
I like Hanbin and Void as well.
I think the interesting one is who would you drop if you had to pick Fury?
on this list,
Yeah.
because I'm recency biased, I dropped Choi.
Yeah, probably have to drop Choi.
Void Hanbin's peaks last year were way higher. Choi still had some insane moments, especially, I don't know if you guys remember, but playoffs, man, Choi kicked it into sixth gear. Like, bro, 2020, 2019, Choi was back during last year's playoffs. The rest of the season, and maybe
not so much.
Well, maybe it's I don't know if it's his problem or if it's just Shock, because we know Shock had issues last year. Shock had enough issues that, you know, what are you supposed to do as Choi? I mean, you're gonna do so much. So
I think he just got to be like that focal figure, because as dumb as this sounds, like, you recognize the hero so much more. To me, like, I remember so many like pushes that were just so split, where Choi's like chasing somebody, the team's chasing somebody else, and it just didn't seem cohesive. So you're right. I think it was more team centric, but like you can tell a little bit more obviously when you see that D.Va boosting the wrong way.
But I will offer that same token of gratitude, that same gesture, and that same olive branch to Fury, who didn't have a good time in Washington.
Agreed.
For similar reasons, maybe his team held him back. I don't know. But when we talk about Fury, we're talking about historical Fury on teams that are not called Washington. So last year, Fury probably struggled more than Choi, which is why I think, based on last year's performance, this is probably the correct list. I think currently Hanbin is the best D.Va. That's my personal opinion. Void might be that for other people, and I think I would, Void is, fuck it, flip a coin. It could be Void or Hanbin at any given day.
I agree.
But Hanbin did such unbelievable shit last year on D.Va that it just, again, this is my, what I had a scale last year. I had a metric that I was going by, and it was like a WTF per minute kind of. What was it? It was like, it wasn't that, but it's on that scale. It's basically like how many what the fuck moments per minute is a player doing. And to me, like, people like Shy was doing that all the time. Hanbin was doing that all the time.
It's like, if you think about, like, there are like some roles where you go like, oh yeah, this guy's like best, right? But it doesn't have that special quality. When you think about Lip, you think, okay, this kid actually puts 10% even on the second best player in the world, right? And sometimes I feel like Hanbin does that as well. Where he
gaps the second guy.
Where he gaps, like, he does some absolutely insane shit. Like, he just is so locked into the matrix. And just, like, seems to, like, be emulating whatever, like, is going on and running, like, the Monte Carlo simulation in his head for the most likely outcome, and then picks the correct multiverse in which what he's doing is happening. That this is like, like you talk about special performances, right? You talk about like Aunt's Widow. You talk about like Lip Sombra. You talk about like Jonak season 1 Zenyatta. Like these types of like very obvious, like I feel like we are not talking about Hanbin in that sense on this season enough.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know if you can even put Void into the Dallas Fuel and they have the same success next year. This year.
Possibly. Certainly possible.
So I think our list is good, though. I do think our list here is pretty good. Hog, I think you two had really good picks here. I'm still like kind of 50-50, but I'm going off the Washington Dream run. Yeah. And Janu's Hog was a big part of that, next to Decay Zarya, which I also picked.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna lie, if AVRL, if you didn't mention like the 2019 like Hog meta or the 2020 Hog meta, I don't know that I I probably flub here and probably say something like,
Evermore.
like my brain's like, all right, who do I think of hog? I'm like Snizzle Nose,
Oh my god.
Evermore.
Snizzle nose.
I'm like, oh fuck, my brain doesn't work. There's got to be somebody recent. And then yeah, Gesture kind of jumped out after you made that comment.
Yeah.
But like, I remember like Sebiobi having like a decent hog back in Apex, but like that's just years ago. Like a Taimu maybe, like hog 1.0 shit. Like
Yeah, you're talking about like
it's just so much time. Like too much
who-
time has
who-
passed.
who played hog and quad tank back in the day? Because somebody forced quad tank into a meta.
Yeah.
Which team?
I
Did
mean,
that?
it was
One
probably Envy.
No, wasn't it?
No, I think it was Rogue, wasn't it?
No, wasn't it the Finns?
Giganti.
Giganti, yeah.
Yeah, it was the Finns.
Yeah.
Was it Fraggy? Who was
Yeah, I
playing
think so.
Would
hog?
have played
Was
hog.
it?
No, he was playing Rhine.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
No, it would have to have been like not. It wasn't Davin. It was like
I'm searching up Team Finland.
Zap.
Overwatch. Here we go. What do we got here? What year was it, by the way? Does anyone remember what
Gotta
year
be
it was?
like
Zappis?
17.
It had to have been 17.
Yeah.
17. It was Taimu then, wasn't it? Taimu, Linksa, Zappis,
Oh, it
Fraggy.
could have been Taimu. Taimu
Kindle
had a
Zipper.
nuts hog for a while, dude.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah. It might have been Taimu.
Yeah.
I think the
I would-
only other correct pick for this list is Taimu. Legitimately.
That's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I beefed it a little bit by not going Taimu. I still think,
Eh.
I think the Janu pick is good here though. I think
Yeah.
the Janu pick is still good for recency, because we're talking about Overwatch League and not pre-Overwatch League. Like how much am I gonna factor? Like motherfucker, time was on Roadhog 1.0 back then. Come on, let's be fair.
Yeah.
Time has had some changes since then. We gotta
Yeah.
bring things into the modern era, and in the modern era, recent matches, especially during Hog meta, these are the guys. The only other player I was thinking was Stan One, but I think Shanghai were never comfortable in the Hog meta. I don't think it was ever really theirs, and I don't think they obviously didn't do well in it. And I don't think Stan One. When I think of what I really thought, it was like, do I think Stan One was one of the best Hogs? I'm like, it just doesn't sit right with me. And I went for another team that, like, they were going for the miracle run, they couldn't quite do it.
Why do I think Fury should be on here? Am I completely misremembering? I feel like Fury played hog.
Well, Philadelphia eliminated Washington, right? Who was the hog player in Philly?
Yeah. I thought they played the dumb dive stuff though.
Yeah, they might have not.
I thought they
played
just abused them.
Roadhog.
Because I remember them doing that in the playoffs.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they got gapped.
they did. Hang on, I'm looking at the game now.
They got
Yeah,
big
yeah.
gapped.
Fury played Diva. He didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, Sato played Hog. Fury played Sigma.
Oh.
Sato played Hog.
Okay.
No, I'm happy with my Janu pick. Fuck
Yeah.
it. I'm staying. I'm locking Janu.
I like it. The more we talk about it.
I think Gator popped off on Orisa. I think that's
I
like
agree.
Yeah,
when you think of
that's-
Orisa, he's one of the first players you think of instantly from anybody, right? The Gator Orisa is absolutely that's how you identify Gator immediately with this Orisa hero, and I think for good reasons. So lock it in, easy for me.
Okay, so is Gushue maybe missing here?
I think Maro might be missing here.
Fate?
Yeah,
maybe?
I'll go to. I don't know if I associate Fate. Bro, I think we just snubbed Carpe again. Honestly, that's what it is. Just keep snubbing Carpe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't hate the gesture pick. I always thought that he had a lot of like.
Great.
I thought his halts were always just super well timed. You never like, if anything, and this feels weird to say, like probably his like second best hero.
Yes.
Like it's like Winston, and then it's Orisa.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if you put it that way, I agree. I do agree if you put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I didn't particularly rate anything past that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And it's like a gigantic delta between his Winston and his Orisa, but like it's kind of where it sits. Past those two, I'm like,
Right, it gets hard, man, because everyone kind of just plays it. Everyone just kind of plays it to like, I don't know, like.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's one of those like other invisible, like there are some are some metrics, but like they're tough.
Put Elsa on the list, mate. Elsa fucking played this. You remember where they did Chengdu did Ball Orisa as a legitimate comp. And like, look, A lot of people didn't. A lot of people memed it because they didn't understand it. But I checked it out and I put it under the microscope and I was like, okay, why do they do this? Why does Elsa go Orisa here? And it's because they wanted someone to anchor the point while either Gaga or Among went and did their fucking bullshit. They went and did some bull shenanigans somewhere in the map, and they needed another tank to anchor the point while the ball did that. And Orisa was the best hero for that because, well, Diva fucking isn't. You could go Sigma, but Orisa probably does that job a little bit better. In fact, a lot better. And so Chengdu and Ray, the coach, was like, Elsa, you're playing Orisa. And that was all that was. I'm not saying he was one of the best Orisas, but I'm just like, who even played? Because APAC didn't even really play Orisa. They never played Double Shield. Double Shield was really only a thing in NA, I think, for the most part. Which is why I went to Gator so quickly. But I do struggle as well. And like, who else played a shitload of Orisa? Would you maybe say Muse? Because Glad's played a lot of they played Double Shielded because they had the Shu Bap thing, right? They had Shu Bap and skewed Zen, and they did a lot of that stuff with the Double Shield. So Muse played but he played a lot. Would you say he was one of the best? It's like hard to judge, I think.
I mean, it's the way that you explain it, like, yeah, you're right. They totally did, but I just don't like view Glads like that. I just remember them as like the NA dive team. Which is true, but yeah,
people forgot about the Glads Double Shield. That was that was a trump card. They literally won a tournament. They literally won a stage title off the back of it. Like, people forget. Like, people associate them with like Ball Dive when I don't think that was their strongest composition. No, I think their strongest composition was Double Shield, specifically because they got to abuse the Shu Bap so much, and they got to abuse the skewed Zen because they were the only team that could flex between those two compositions in the same map without changing anybody on the roster. It's crazy. And they absolutely won a lot of games because of it. So yeah,
that's where it just doesn't feel like it's Muse for me. Where it's like, yeah, they played a lot of it, but like he didn't feel particularly like impactful. It felt like that backline was like
it was Shu. It was Shu. Shu was the guy that fucking carried them in Double Shield for a lot, right? I get it. Yeah. Ryan. I think I got put into a bit of a corner here. And the reason I went for Fearless is because Dallas played a fuck ton of Ryan last year.
True. And
Fearless was a top right. He was crazy on that hero. He was one of the best on that hero last year, 100%. What was that one game? He did get gapped in one game, though. I remember there was a meme where he got gapped one game by somebody, but I can't remember who.
Oh, I can't even think. Was it like a stats card thing?
It was Checkmate. It was Checkmate.
Was it?
It was a Checkmate just fucking charging him off cooldown. One game, and that...
I hated that so much,
man.
That
and Mag, I think Mag might have gapped in one game. But aside from that, Fearless was like solid. He was stone cold on this hero the entire season. So
yeah.
I'm happy with this pick.
I feel like
super engaged.
Mano is probably worth mentioning here,
but not over these three.
Yeah.
Like Mano sits below these three for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else was just kind of fine. I feel like Mag could have, but obviously justice
and consistency.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
And then everyone else, I just don't know that there's anyone else that I really think of. Yeah.
It's another one of those heroes that's like, I can tell you who it's not. And then there's like a big delta of like gray, and then like some like, I noticed when you're playing this hero.
Yeah.
All right, let's go next. I actually think we did kind of do well here. I maybe Void got stumped a little bit.
Yes.
I think so. This is one of those situations where again I was like, who do you associate Sigma with? And for me, Hanbin did set straight away.
Yeah.
There'd be some fans that would be like, oh, the Pigma, but like, guys, Hanbin's been
one season
on Sigma for way longer. He's been a top Sigma for way longer. He's outperformed Piggy. Like, to me, there's no shot. Like, Piggy does not match up to Hanbin. You're allowed to put him on the list, but Hanbin to me is the number one. I think I would still put Void over Piggy personally. And I get your Krong pick, Joe, because I think Krong, we all remember which tournament was it? 2020. He won a tournament. Summer Showdown. He won off the Sigma. So I get it. I see that. Like, we want to talk about peaks. Yeah, Krong's shown it.
Actual like noticeable hard carry performances like that will like put you up +1. I think like not too many people like did it as consistently as he did in that season. Yeah, I don't hate Piggy and Hanbin. Yeah, I think that's just like the gimme answer. Like that's the first pick.
Do we miss somebody
Probably Void,
Space.
if anything.
outside of Void?
Space.
Space? Maybe.
Do we?
I feel like I associate him with Zarya.
Oh, we did. We missed Hawk. Fuck, we
Yes.
missed Hawk.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we missed Hawk. Yeah,
And
100%.
then, depending on how far away you or back you want to go, you should probably also say Gargoyle. During like season 3.
Is there a world where you say Marvel, or is that too memey?
Nah, I will
Does that
never
get into
say
meme
Marvel.
territory?
No.
And neither will Jake, because he'll only say Marv 1. Choi, maybe? Do we go Choi? No, probably not. Fury? No?
I think he grew into the role, but I feel like there have been more consistent performances.
Okay. I don't hate our picks. I think Hanbin, Piggy, Krong were, they had the moments. I think Hanbin is the clear front line there.
Yep.
I think our Winston picks were on point. Gesture, Fearless, Gouche.
Yeah.
They're a fan. There's going to be a fan out there that says, "What about Mana?" Or not Mana. Yeah, what about Mana? But then also,
what about
Miro? The other four-letter Korean name tank that starts with M. Miro and Mana
Right.
were probably the two players here that we missed. Maybe Smurf as well, actually.
Smurf's
Smurf's not a bad pick, yeah.
But here's the thing: is like if you had to pick a Mount Rushmore for Winston players, you absolutely could. I think of the players that defined the role, pioneered the role, and really did the most with him. With that, Miro probably does deserve to be here.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
he would be the fourth pick here because he's probably the fourth best player out of Gesture, Fearless, and Gouche. I think Gesture and Gouche in particular had their day in the sun of pioneering Winston and pushing it further into, this is what defines Winston gameplay. Fearless did that last year 100%. He outclassed everybody on Winston, no question. So I would say these three, plus a big shout out to Miro for originally pioneering the hero, and then somewhere you could argue Smurf and Mana exist as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Zarya?
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you for Winston. Okay. And I feel like there's some obvious holes in this, but I'm interested to see like what you guys think of it. What about Fissure?
Yeah, it's in the back of my mind. I associate
too
Fissure
long.
with more Ryan for some reason.
Oh, really?
For some reason, I associate him more with Ryan.
That's fair.
I don't know if I'm wrong on that, but
He was definitely one of the best Winstons in season 1, right?
Say so.
But like I feel like then like you the thing is how much of that is still relevant, you know? Like then you probably like legitimately before you say Fissure you got to say Mano. Like Mano was just way more relevant for way longer than Fissure was, right? And had to adapt to like the new demands of what it was to be Winston. So yeah, I think like legitimately, of course, like it's extremely high peak in season 1, but like if you just stay one season, then tough luck.
I think a lot of the Fissure conversation comes from the same time period as Gesture because it's that Apex season 3, season 4 kind of performance, right?
That's why.
And Fissure was there with Void, the Virgin Rascal duo.
Yeah.
But Jisoo Busan won that season off Gesture Wukiao. And I think people generally have higher perception of Gesture before winning that season rather than I'm sure if Fissure won the season, it would be the opposite.
Too. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Probably true. But like and especially like in the manner that Fissure did it, where he lifted like a bottom team or like mediocre team, let's say, to like top status, right? Just by like coming in, and that's very very simplistic view because I remember like especially DePay saying like, yeah, I mean he was a big part, but there were certain other cogs in the machine suddenly working that contributed to this. But like the entire narrative about him just coming in, transcendentally changing the team and making them like imagine if they
Glads.
win it. Yes. So, and then
But I think he played a lot of Ryan for Glads, didn't he?
it was a lot of Winston in the beginning, right?
I remember it
Yeah.
being a lot of Ryan.
I think towards the end, and weirdly enough, I remember like I don't know why King's Row sticks out, but like I remember like the whole like the big drama with like Fissure and like he wasn't necessarily performing in scrims was the rumor, and then iRemix comes in and it just looks like a mess. But
Because he didn't want to play in the scrim.
he
He's
just didn't.
He's like,
Yeah,
he's like,
he
yo,
benched himself.
there's a lot of white people on this team. I'm not about it.
I mean, I think he not come out and say like later on like he just wanted to play for a fully Korean team, and you can't blame the guy. Like it's hard as fuck to like play with people who like you cannot communicate with, or like it's just there's just an inherent barrier to trying to like be a teammate. It's just like I'd rather not. I feel like I'm wasting my time, so I don't blame him.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm just memeing, obviously. I mean, it's true, but I'm also memeing. I'm having a laugh. I'm having a laugh. It's fine.
It's great, guys. Come on.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player. I don't know that he makes my list for this. I think Jealous Fish. I think especially looking recency as well. Gesture, Fearless, Gouche, Hayat. They've done more recently.
Agreed.
Zarya, Decay, Somansu, Nene. I think that's a pretty good list. I should do. It's interesting that I would have said if I was to drop somebody here, I would drop Nene and put Sinatra in there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because we're talking. It's funny that the best Zaryas are all DPSs. There's not a single tank.
Right? Yeah.
No.
I think that finally, like, not to tie this into Overwatch 2, but like I feel like maybe Yiska's got something brewing here with like maybe these DPS like off rolling a little bit more, being able to pick this stuff up. It isn't just going to be tank players that are always picking this stuff up. You look at Decay and how well he did for Justice during their kind of Cinderella run. You look at Somansu, who weirdly enough, I view him more as of a kind of a fluid player. Like, yes, he has like the Cassidy, yes, he has the Zarya, but like his role never felt like ingrained. He was just kind of this flex piece that like Titans or Spark would kind of just throw around and utilize. So maybe there's more merit to that. Maybe we're going to see more DPS kind of pick up flex tanks in place of the main tanks.
I think I've said that.
True. I think you both have.
You pick up extra DPS players and they could actually slot into the tank role if you need, or they could slot into a flex support position if you need. So, I mean, trust me, flex DPS, their hero pool increases by the day. Decay, though, I think is to me the most standout Zarya player I've ever seen. I've just who the fuck else has carried as hard as Decay has carried on Zarya ever in the history of Overwatch? Like, it's crazy to me.
I feel like you got to like go to like effect maybe. Profit, maybe.
I think so. No, I don't think Profit. I think Somansu, Sinatra are definitely there. But just what Decay did was like a gargantuan deadlift on this hero. Like he's like this. He turned Zarya into a raid boss.
Yes,
that's how crazy it was. So I think I had to go Decay here. I could not go Decay. So and some of the reasons moving on to the next hero, if we're happy with Zarya. Alarm for me is I think, I mean, when I think of top Ana players, again, who on the here we go. So nutty plays per second was my metric that I used in the casting last season. NPS, nutty plays per second, and I literally said on cast, I think Alarm has one of the highest MPSs I've ever seen. Highest nutty plays per second. He did this was even last year. He did unbelievable things on Ana.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I think historically, and you guys went with Shu Twilight, which I think are also incredible. Like Ryu Jae Hong probably could make this list for his historical impact on Ana. Like he kind of invented Ana for most players. So for historical impact, he probably deserves to be there. But in terms of peak performance, these three players between Alarm, Shu, and Twilight probably push the hero further along after Ryu Jae Hong.
Agreed.
Set the table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
I would tend to agree. I love Shu. I think, funnily enough, I think Baroy really kind of stuck him out, like put him on the map for me, like season to like 29, like early 2019, I think, when he was still like fiddling around with Winston's lab. He's like, yeah, nobody pays attention to Shu, dude. Like, he's nuts. Statistically, this kid fucking pounds.
Yeah.
And like there's a significant like correlation between like how good your flex support was during that time and like how, like your team placing, and like Shu was just like somebody who nobody's really paying attention to. Look where he is now.
Yep.
Alarm, to your point, like nutty plays per second. Like, this kid could do it all on anything you put him on. You know, scroll back in the video like timestamps and, you know, listen to what Yiska said about the anecdote of him talking to Christopher on Philly. Like, this kid was nuts. This kid, you know, probably one of the, if I would probably say the best support player that we will probably ever see. I don't know that too many other people can like do what he
definitely
did.
in Overwatch 1. I think he cemented, I think because he played up until the end of Overwatch 1, to me, he cemented himself as one of the best, if not the best, you know, support players, generally speaking.
Tough to argue.
In the game. You know, we can, and I remember that Christopher interview. He said that, you know, and he felt bad because despite Alarm, I think it was Alarm, he was in the MVP top 10, wasn't he? I can't remember.
I think so.
But he kind of felt bad because Philly's poor performances kind of dragged Alarm's personal candidacy for MVP down a lot, which I agree with. It did, and that's just the unfortunate reality of it. Because Alarm was an MVP caliber player, I think, for 2 years running straight. His rookie year 2020 and last year 2021 as well. And for that level of consistency on a team that struggles as well, like last year, Philly struggled for sure. And Alarm still put up massive performances every game. Go back to his POV. As Christopher said, sitting behind the guy and watching his POV is unbelievable what he's doing every moment of the game. That is why, you know, it will forever be, it will just be our biggest loss ever in Overwatch.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Not one of, it just simply is the biggest loss ever.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So we won't get that again, unfortunately.
No. Again, and that's why we will always sing the praises, and everybody should, because it, you know, a talent gone far too soon, a person gone far too soon, like just somebody who had so much to give, for sure.
BAP, Shu, Iris, two obvious answers. Kind of screwed you a little bit here, Joe. You were put in the corner. I would have said that you probably snubbed Violet here a little bit.
Probably, yeah, because I didn't put him anywhere else. I probably could have put him here. I think if I go back, I probably.
You have 0 Violet? Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
I think Violet did a lot to pioneer this hero.
Yeah,
legitimately. So,
my brain just couldn't get off of last season and how like impressed I was with Khan. But I think in general, I think Violet probably has the better like career on it.
Yeah, I think Shu did the best last year, and it's shown the highest peak in BAP, and Iris got close to that. Yeah, he wasn't quite as good, but he was very good. He was certainly a big part of Atlanta's success, generally speaking. Khan did well. Violet has more going on for his historical performance. After that, I'm not too sure, because you don't have that many other players that have huge numbers on BAP anymore. Not that many teams, I think, last year played BAP. Certainly didn't get played at all in APAC. And some limited play. Well, some definitely. Actually, not limited play. BAP got played a lot in Rush, didn't he? Played a lot in Brawl. So most NA teams would have showed some BAP at some point. But I think we mostly nailed it outside of Joe.
Mostly.
But that's fine. Whatever. Brig. Oh man, we all just snubbed Skewed here, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think the fans will be upset that we didn't go for Skewed. But I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I think Legion was just the best support.
I think so. I don't think that's like too nuts. I think the three-peat that you give him, Brig, Lucio, and Mercy, they all fit. As much as I think sometimes his Mercy was a little suspect, I think for the most part, probably up there.
Any Mercy that tries to pistol whip is going to look a little suspect.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's going to be moments where you look like you're feeding. But please remember that one unbelievable moment where Lee J Gon outplayed Yaki in a 1v1 in the bank of Dorado on B. Straight up 1v1, and Lee J Gon just fucking slapped him as a Mercy versus a Tracer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the kid just consistently makes plays. Like, he can't help himself. He can't get out of his own way to make a play.
And I'm just
And
like,
that's
yo,
like-
this is like one of the best players I've ever seen. just won a 1v1 against Yaki on a Mercy. It's
Yeah.
like fucking incredible.
When you take heroes that like really shouldn't be like gigantic playmakers out of like getting in somebody's way or interrupting somebody, and you're actively like doing a lot. I think Lucio is going to stick out like a sore thumb for a lot of people, but there are a lot of just like really, really passive Lucios. And you look at him last season, you look how well he paired with Fate. You look at how well he's going in and just kind of like going into the line of fire with Mercy and just like getting dumb reses, 1v1ing Yaki and Banks. You know, this is somebody who, yeah, should be celebrated as one of the best like main supports. It doesn't even feel to call him a main support,
Right.
but
What I know you guys had to explain the alarm pick to me a little bit. I think for some reason my mind, I just don't even remember alarm being on this.
it's kind of
like,
niche.
I remember potentially more Violet here. I don't know.
Mm.
I do. The Yveltal pick is really, really good because I think Yveltal peaked hard on this here. He had such a crazy good brig last year. Okay, he had some bad moments as well, but like his peaks were wildly good. I think the best brig performance I saw last year was probably Yveltal up against Dragons, Summer Showdown, upper final, not the grand finals, upper finals. And you watch his POV during that upper finals when they legitimately beat Shanghai Dragons in a BO5, and you look at Yveltal's POV, this guy was shutting Lip down, the best Sombra in the entire world. The Gap's the second best Sombra by like another Grand Canyon. Yveltal was the key factor in Chengdu beating Shanghai in that matchup by simply shitting on Lip as much as possible as a brig. That's when I see that, I'm like, this is like the best brig gameplay I've ever seen.
Yeah. A lot of I think Chengdu in particular had like surprisingly good breaks. I think a lot of people would be kind of surprised if you actually look at like the stats lab and you look at both Nisha and Yveltal and you're like, yeah, these are kind of almost interchangeable. Like style wise, I think you could really kind of nitpick, but like just impact statistically, they're pretty damn close.
Do we outside of Skew, do we miss anybody? Maybe Dredro, maybe
Maybe I think it's probably just skewed if I'm gonna be honest.
does anyone have any particular
Profit.
do we have okay, first of all, I'm not gonna add any DPS from GOATs into this conversation because I think not that I don't think they were good, but it's just I don't know, it's just such a different brig in a way. Also, Brig's hero has been reworked and changed over time so much. Like the GOAT's brig is such a different brig by the role of the team and also just the design of the hero. Like it's, do you know what I mean? Like the hero itself has just been reworked hardcore since that time. So we're looking at modern brig, not historical brig. And even back then, like historical brig, I think it's hard. Like I don't even know who I would say for historical brig. It's just brig seemed very high impact, but also simultaneously a bit invisible, if that makes sense, during GOATs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, much like GOATs, like you had to like fine tooth comb and like sift through it and like really hone in and watch their specific like inputs to see like the impact. It's very there, but like it takes a lot of effort to like get into the nitty gritty and see it.
It's like I put an oxymoron out there. It's like, yeah, that's a high impact invisible hero. Like,
I mean, it's true though. Like it's accurate. Specifically within that meta, I think there's a lot of other metas where it's like, oh, I can tell that like Chris is not a good brig, right?
Brig
like
impact in this modern era of Overwatch 1 is far more noticeable, I think.
Oh yeah.
And that's
100%.
mostly because of, I think, you know,
they have a very clear role.
Well, yeah, I think they're more of a support rather than like a DPS jumping onto, you know, whatever the fuck Brick used to do in GOATs. Anyway, Mercy. Now,
I wish I could swap. I want to swap my Chengdu supports around. I fucked this up nasty. Should put Nisha at Brig and then Yveltal at fucking Mercy.
Here's the other thing here's the other truth about Chengdu last year as well. People used to say, so as again, I'll repeat myself on this one. People used to say, yeah, Chengdu have 2 out of the 3 best ball players in the world on their team. The other thing they would also say is Chengdu have 2 out of the 3 best Mercy players on their team as well.
Yes.
So they're just hoarding like these top players and very specific heroes on their team and having 2 of them. So I think both Yveltal and Nishro had crazy good performances on Mercy in their own right. Yveltal probably still had higher peaks generally on both Brig and Mercy. So yeah. Wait, did we skip Lucio? Oh, we did. We'll go back to Lucio then. We'll talk about Mercy. We'll go back to Lucio. Let's just talk about Mercy because we're already there. We'll talk about Lucio after.
Right.
So yeah, we have Nisha Yveltal, and then I think I would have gone for one of those 2. But you took them, so I took Lee Jae Gon because I think. Do I really want Neptune? I think he was good back in the day, but everyone liked him for his battle Mercy. But nowadays, that's like everyone does it. Like Lee Jae Gon, Yveltal, Nisha, they all do it.
What about Moth?
And then on top of that, they're more successful in the other areas, as well as having the same damage impact and kill threat as Neptune had back in the day. So I think they all surpassed him. I think Lee Jae Gon again. I gave him the 3P. I simply think he is the best support. Note that I didn't say main support. Just support at all support player we have in the entire league.
Oh damn.
So I don't know if we're missing anybody on this category.
Moth
Mercy
is the one.
Moth?
Mm-hmm.
It's true. He is named after Mercy meta.
I think I'd probably say Dredro. Like you couldn't like get out of like a contenders coach like interview without them being like, yeah, I don't know why Dredro isn't like, yeah, like that's like just his shtick. Like that's his like unkillable signature, like most annoying pick. Like teams would force it, from my understanding. And this goes back like a few years at this point, and being able to see that was nice. But I think he come in like half the season though. Like he was like a late addition for Paris, no?
Yeah, and also NA didn't play Mercy because they were on Rhine comps, so you wouldn't have ever seen him on it in this meta. Okay, let's go back to Lucio then. Lee Jae Gon, Funny Astro, Toby. Now Moth probably got snubbed a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I think all the super fans that don't watch APAC probably think Lee Jae Gon sucks because of that one clip of Oasis. But okay, everyone's got a bad clip somewhere.
How about that one clip on Lijiang Tower where he just gets 3 environmentals on cooldown?
Yeah.
Like, how about that?
Like there are plenty of other clips of him like absolutely fragging.
I can't say that. Lee Jae Gon, that was more than 3. That was
it was like a whole round.
He set the record for most environmental kills ever in a single map, ever.
Yep.
On that one performance. That was a literal fucking league record. Who was it against Soul? I think it was Dragons versus Soul.
I think,
and he fucking pounded.
Yeah,
he wiped the floor with them.
They couldn't get out of their own way.
I think I remembered it was Soul because I was so flabbergasted that Prophet was playing May there for whatever reason. I can't remember what the hell was going on in Soul's Minds for that game, but they were playing the wrong composition. Prophet was on a May getting bullied. He couldn't freeze anybody to save his life because he's got fucking 6 mobile heroes just flying around. And this guy is like trying to catch, flies in the sky with his bare hands. It's not going to happen. And then Lee Jae Gon and Lucio just boops 10 of them into the pit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was nuts.
Funny Astro, good pick. Toby, I think historically accurate, but Moth probably gets snubbed here by all 3 of us a little bit. I don't know. Moth is pretty interchangeable. I don't know. You could definitely put Moth in here somewhere, but maybe this is another one of those categories where you need another position.
Yeah.
You need another, 4th slot.
There's a lot. There's always good Lucios. That one's tough to kind of miss on.
Yeah.
I'd probably put Moth over Toby, personally.
No, you talk about Dredro. He actually did play a lot of Lucio, and he was good.
True.
But I think he was maybe held back by his team's performance, so it's not as it doesn't seem as crazy because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Season 3 FD was also seriously like FD God.
Yeah, FD is another one.
True. Not a bad shout.
Yeah. Who can forget the Violet Lucio? Right.
Yeah.
Certainly the Shock fans can't forget it, I'll tell you that.
True.
I actually thought Master had a really good. I don't think I put him on the list. Yes. I think Master had a fantastic Lucio showing last year. A lot of that's Atlanta success. I put a lot of that onto Master as well because I actually reviewed his POV and I was like, bro, this guy is doing so much in his POV, and it's one of those things where unless you look at their POV, you don't see it.
Yes.
Because he's having high impact, but he's also invisible.
Yes.
And I had to literally watch a map through his POV to be like, wow, holy, never seen. I did not know he was doing this much, but he was doing a lot.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next? Moira. Well, the team that played the most Moira was Dallas, and they got the most success on Moira. I think Fielder's cold timing was great. He had the fastest calls I think of any player that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He gets calls like boom, like that, like you instantly. It's crazy. Fielder's output on Moira was unreal.
I think that definitely comes down to like that style that they kind of pioneered, like you said earlier. I think that's probably like the gimme pick for that reason. And then it's like, all right, where do we go from here? You could probably name like a decent flex support, and they're probably up there. Let's see, final blows, healing. That's probably not a great metric. Deaths per map, like who lives a lot? Lived a lot.
Gangnam lived a lot. Gangnam had good stats.
True. Yeah.
Twilight actually had good stats, and he did play a fair amount of Moira as well. So good shout for Twilight. I do. When we talked about this at the time, but you did troll a little bit with a Dogman pick.
A little bit.
And again, I think he would also agree with that. I would have said
the little troll.
No shit. I would have said Crimzo potentially.
Now, that's not a bad one. Not a bad one.
The reason I say that is because I remember historical performances of Crimzo on Moira that were like, to me, like, wow. And I confirmed this with stats at the time as well. He was doing a lot. Maybe that was from his time at Contenders, and I don't know how much people want to weigh in on that, or how to put weight on that. I don't know how much Crimzo actually played Moira in the Overwatch League. I can't remember at all.
Yeah.
But his stats look good. And I remember he performed super good in Tier 2 on Moira when Moira was when there were definitely Moira metas. So yeah, I think the other picks to consider would have been Gangnam Jin, Crimzo. Fuck, it gets pretty hard after that. I'm not too sure. How much did Iris play? A little bit. Probably not stand out though.
No.
I think Iziaki could have been there if Shanghai actually played Moira. But Shanghai never. Yeah. Shanghai just didn't. Again, this is the Iziaki Moira is in the same category as the Lip Reaper. Sorry, not Ash. The Lip Reaper, because they literally only played it against Dallas and Junjoust, and that was it.
Yeah.
So
what?
Yeah, if they had to, he'd probably be up there for sure.
What about Violet?
He would have. Did Violet play Moira with potentially a FD God Lucio? Did they ever do that? My memory's a little hazy on it.
Had to have, right?
Yeah, I think they had
Or was it Violet Lucio and Twilight Moira? And they just kept FD God benched.
I think that also may have happened.
See, this is the problem. Is I'm having some amnesia about it. Because Shock's entire regular season outside their playoffs is like one big amnesia zone for me.
Yeah,
yes, pretty much. Yeah,
I think both are true.
I think Violet played a bunch, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think most Shock fans are like, yeah, their entire regular season was just a one big amnesia zone. Like,
it was really odd, man.
It's just that it felt like a fever dream. That entire regular season of Shock was just one big fever dream.
You start with Violet on McCree, and then they him on Cassie's.
Yeah, real good in playoffs. I remember the playoffs run because it was so good. I'm shocked. It was good enough that Bryn thought they were going to win the whole thing, which is maybe being a little bit generous, but they were damn good. They were damn good. Okay, Zen. I don't think there's a more correct list. Maybe some people could have said Shu. Maybe some people could have said Shu. But historically, these are probably the three highest performers on Zen that we've had in the history of the hero.
Yep, I would say so.
Just trying to see if there's anybody else we missed.
You could say Shu, maybe you could say Twilight, but I feel like
Iziaki. We missed Iziaki.
Yes.
I mean, Yiska probably doesn't think we missed Iziaki, but we did.
No, I'm picking Violet over Iziaki every day.
Same. I take these three over. I think if we had to like settle on a fourth, there are some great candidates, but like it's tough to argue with Izayaki. Like he probably has to like be that honorable mention. Just from success alone, from sheer output, like the kid's been around forever. It feels like forever. Quite good.
How good was Fielder Zen? I'm trying to remember Fielder Zen. The problem is
It's fine.
Dallas played such little Zen compositions that we didn't get to see a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember how it was on Paris the year before though, and I can't. I'm struggling to remember.
2020, to talk about the amnesia year. 2020 kind of feels like a blur.
I just took a bunch of psychic damage in 2020 is all I remember.
True, yeah. It was quite abundant.
Yeah, I think Fielder Izayaki are two players we could have looked at as well.
I'd probably take Shu over Fielder if I'm going to be honest. And that feels heretical, but it also kind of doesn't.
Players that are up and coming would be like Farway and Monk from Chengdu, but
yeah,
I think they need a bit more time to show it. Coldest might be there one day, but again, he needs the time to show it because he hasn't had any games, man. He just hasn't played the get matches yet.
Oh.
For what it's worth, I think MCD was reasonable, but just
agreed.
Not good enough to make the list. Not even close to being good enough to make the list.
Nope.
That's probably it, isn't it? It gets pretty low. I can't even remember Lastro on this hero. I think Lastro for me was more known for Anna as well. Mm-hmm. So Crimzo to me is more known for Anna and Moira, more so than Zen. So yeah, I think this is that was the last hero, right? That's all heroes?
I think so. Yeah, that's all.
Who's the best Sojourn? Who's the best Sojourn?
Ooh,
good question.
Who?
It's gonna be Leave because he's the best on everything.
I mean, yes, that's there are some safe picks for who could like jump out ahead.
Thing is, it's probably going to be Lip if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Hang on. What type of hero is she? Is she projectile or hit scan?
I think she's hit scan. She's got the rail gun.
Well, the rail is hit scan, but what about her standard left click?
I think it's just like a soldier gun, right?
No,
like it's just
I don't know. Hang on.
Either way, I think it's probably the rail that's going to be like the big metric of success, right?
I'm taking a look.
Does it matter for Lip?
I don't know if it matters for Lip. I think he'll excel at it.
It's soldier-esque. It's somewhat soldier-like.
Okay.
So it'll probably be... So you know what? It's probably going to be XC. I don't know. Pray to God he gets on a team.
Yeah.
But
there's so many good hit scans that I think are going to like excel with that hero. And then like on the top of like all the rest of the changes, I like Lip.
And what?
Enough.
How deep are we in? I think that's it, isn't it? There's not much. I don't think we have time for anything else for another fence. Do we?
Do you have a quick fence so we justify the sidebar? Get off the fence.
Sure. Let me cross this off.
What's a lightning fence you can give us?
Lightning fence.
Thank you, patrons.
Let me take it. Yes, thank you so much, Refried Bean. Hopefully that kind of answers your question. I know there was some comedy in there, but I think we got most of it.
It's 95% there with 5% of trolling, yeah.
Yes, but I think that's just like the icing on the cake. All right, here's a good one from. Okay, fuck. Picasso has so many questions. I can't. Here's one. We got one recently that I think is topical with the show. One for All asks, get off the fence, rate the new Pokemon starters. Now, let me quickly. Pokemon starters. Let me quickly pull up the image so that we can do this live on the show.
I haven't played Pokemon since Pokemon Yellow, bro.
And that's okay, because here are the new starters. I think we're on like Gen 24 and a half.
The last time that Yiska was a child.
Yeah, right. So here are the new, I think it's called Violet and something or other, Diamond and Pearl. I don't know. You guys get it.
Is this new Pokemon generation done fully in Spanish? What the hell is this?
I don't know. I think the rumor is that it's supposed to be set in Spain. All of the Pokemon generations are supposed to be based on like actual locations, and I think this one might be Spanish. I'm not sure.
So I need them to do the Australian one eventually. Some fan did like the Australian.
Oh really?
Like a fan version of Australia. Yeah, I don't know if I can't believe you haven't seen it. And it's got all this Australian themed stuff, and I was like, oh, it's perfect. But because they've done that, Nintendo can never do it now because there'll be a bunch of issues between like, oh, they copied what offended.
Right.
So I'm gonna say it. The cat. Everyone knows the cat's the best here.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's a cute looking cat.
Yeah.
I'm not digging the green colors. I think if it had more cat-like colors, but
yeah,
the green is a little off-putting for me.
it feels like these last few gens, and I haven't played Pokemon since like Black and White, like actually, but every time the new starters are coming out, it feels like these like last few. It feels like the grass type starter is always getting pushed like a little bit. Like, oh cool, it's like an owl, or oh cool, it's like a little monkey man. Like, oh, like they're really trying to get people to like pick the grass starter because I feel like it's the most underrepresented, while the other two are like kind of goofy looking.
I'm glad Fuecoco it says it's a croc, because otherwise I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
it's like a weird apple dinosaur thing. I don't know. It's cute, but can I just address the elephant in the room?
Well,
yeah.
Why does Quaxly looks like he's like conservative as fuck? He probably has like a fucking 401k already. Like he's a trust fund baby. He golfs on the weekend.
What are you saying about the best starter here? Shut up.
My problem is he just looks like Donald the Duck. It's
Yeah,
like
he does.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like Nintendo put very little effort into this and just like copied Pixar. And I think the issue. Hang on. The issue I have is that he's got a hat. He's got a blue hat.
Yeah,
it's his hair.
So Donald. Sure, but it looks like a hat. And
it does look like a hat.
Donald Duck also has a blue hat.
He does.
And it's a duck with blue, which is a blue themed duck. It's just like you've actually copied Pixar. Disney. Sorry, Disney. You've copied Disney. I mean, Disney Pixar. They're all the same thing. You've copied them.
Come on, man. You know the next evolution is going to be fire with hair like this at the starter level.
No, he's gonna equip a polo.
Nah.
He's gonna put on fucking boat shoes.
Okay, real talk here, right? If you followed this podcast up until this point, you know I don't touch grass. So that fucker is up. Now, Crocodog is a fucked up game, so I'm not playing that either. So the fire starter is also out because like I, as a child, got my finger stuck in it. So it has to be the water starter, like Quaxly or whatever it was, while Eric's feet is broken. It's a duckling Pokemon. Ducks are goated animals, if we're being honest. Like
they're very tasty.
That is also true. They are very tasty, yes.
Ducks are fucking weird.
I'll be real.
Like,
I've
like the ability to fly is pretty nice, right? No? It's like the best.
Let me check this real quick. What? No, it just says water. There's no flying type here. Sorry, it just says water.
I'm sure it'll get double typing as flying. Which like how many fucking like flying water types out there? Chat, you know what I'm talking about. That shit sucks. We avoid at all costs.
Lugia, goated water flying. Boom. I'll be real with you. Out of these three Pokemon, I've had Duck. I've never had Croc or Cat, so I can't speak on those. But I've had Duck, and it's really good. So based off that, Quaxly does have my vote.
So you're gonna pick the starter that's the most tasty.
Quaxly has my vote on the tasty department. Number one.
How do you say the cat's name? Sprigatito?
Maybe.
Sprigatito?
Here's my other problem with Quaxly though. There's too many duck Pokemon.
Yeah.
Too many
there are a lot of
Pokemon.
just like
there's shitloads
invisible
of cat Pokemon though. Come on.
Is it?
There is. There's like Meow.
Like yeah, cool. There's one more. And
There's,
Meowth and the big Meowth. Cool. And Persian. Meowth and Persian. Meowth, Persian, and Sprigatito is your three cat Pokemon.
No, what was the leopard? There's a Skitty. There's chat. Come on, you know, leave a comment. I don't know, man. Just engage with the goddamn video at this point. There's more cat Pokemon, man. I'm telling you.
What are the duck Pokemon? Isn't there just the one guy with the leak?
Well, yeah, there's Farfetch. There's like, it's not a duck, but like, there's the archetype of like a white and blue bird Pokemon.
There's all of Psyduck's evolutions.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
There's Farfetch.
True.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm forgetting the rest now.
See,
Wingull isn't a.
What's Slowpoke? What is that?
Slowpoke's like
What is it?
some kind of a mammal.
Oh, Porygon. Boom.
Porygon's
Check. Yes,
come
it fucking
on.
is. Yes, it is. Look at it. Yes, it is.
It's like a
Porygon's
robo
a
duck. Sure,
It's
fine.
a duck. A duck. Porygon and Porygon 2, both ducks.
I feel like that's probably the spiciest take we've had. I feel like that's gonna
It's
get the
not.
most hate.
Look at it. Tell me that it's not a duck.
We've transitioned from an Attack on Titan podcast to a
There's so
Pokemon
many
grading.
There's so many duck Pokemon that you now have like fucking machine ducks as Pokemon now. That's how much Nintendo loves their ducks.
But they are the most tasty.
That's true. I can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gotta go with the cat. The cat's cute as fuck, man.
Can we
I'll
see the
say-
evolutions? Are those out yet?
They're not out?
I
They're not
try
out?
to look them up. Can I just say, where is it? The Australian.
Yeah, link me that. I'm kind of interested in that.
Bro,
It's here
what the
somewhere.
fuck is a grass cat Pokemon, dude? A vegan cat? Shut the fuck up. Like,
It doesn't have to be vegan. It's just made of plants, you dumbass.
well, is it
It's gonna
then
be
a
so fucking
meat-eating plant?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. Tune in next time.
Right. So what happens is actually a Venus flytrap, but as a cat, so it still eats
Yeah.
meat. Still eats
Dude,
meat.
all of the like look at these. Look at the like how pushed these water starters are. Hold on. I'm gonna get this in here. Like look at from like Gen 1 onward. Like how many goated water starters there are. It's about time you get like a fucking
Here we go.
Quaxley.
Nah, like,
Here's the fan.
God,
Here's the
what is
fan
that?
made
That's
Australian
fucking
Pokemon.
I gotta see this.
by the way,
Throw it,
little.
on there. Throw it up. Throw it up.
What is this? I'm
The
scared.
names.
I'm scared. What is this?
Scared of Australia. You
Fucking
should be.
names, bro.
You should be.
Pokemon, yeah. Pokemon, nah. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Oh fuck, that is
Jesus.
so
Tell me,
good.
tell me this isn't the best grass starter you've ever seen.
Oh, for sure, that's
It's
cute
a
as shit.
wallaby with a boomerang tail.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
it's the
fuck.
best grass starter I've ever seen.
That
Oh
is
my
And its
God.
and
What
its
is-
name is Skippy. Oh, it gets
Nah,
better.
that
Oh.
that
That's pretty good.
sells.
And what's the water type? A platypus or?
Yeah, it's a
I
platypus.
guess, yeah.
See,
That could be kind of cool.
It's close to a duck though. See, even the fans
True.
want to
True.
do a duck
It's a
water.
mammal,
Hey,
bro.
How many duck water types can you do? Like even the fans want to go there. It's crazy. We've got to
What is
slow
the
down with
fire
these ducks.
starter?
A snake. It's meant to be a red belly snake, quite poisonous in
It
Australia.
has legs.
Well,
Gotcha,
extra-
No, it's got like
Uh,
fins. Those aren't legs.
Well, snakes aren't meant to have either, but
Yeah, I mean,
here
true.
we go.
but- Here we are.
go. Here we are.
Jesus Christ.
That's sick though. I love that.
It
I mean,
does.
come on. There's definitely a dingo in there, Eric. It's just not a starter.
What is?
So yeah, the entire thread is you have to go through the whole thread at some point. We're not going to do it today,
I have to. This is too fucking funny.
but like the evolution.
Oh, that looks sick.
for the
looks so
wombat, you have like surfers with a mullet, and both the evolutions, the tail's a surfboard. And
Really?
Oh,
if you look
God.
at the chest, it looks like they're wearing a white singlet as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh
true.
my God.
That's sick.
There's a lot of thought put into these. The
Yeah.
problem is these ideas are so good that Nintendo can now never use
You can't
them
compete.
No.
Yeah.
because you'd legitimately just be like copy pasting, and I think
Mhm.
there'd be some legal issues behind it. So they actually can't do
Probably.
this. It's just, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but like, Hearthstone has do I call it a problem? But Hearthstone has a thing where like fans obviously make their own cards, right? The fan made
Yeah.
cards. But I remember seeing a statement from Blizzard at one point where they said that they could never release a fan made card because there'd be some issue with that. There'd be, I don't know if it's a legal issue
yeah,
or
could
whatever,
be.
but they can't do it. So if a
Huh.
fan makes a really fucking good card, it will never be in the game.
They can't ever be. Yeah.
So that's like kind of an issue. Like you actually have to slow that down. You actually think so. Actually, it's dangerous for the game to have good fan cards because it makes you're basically ruining your own opportunity for the game to be good because of that reason. So,
Kinda.
Damn.
It sucks because it's like this person probably deserves to like be brought in and be like, yeah, this is like really good. Like I think that's like the dream scenario for like people who do this type of stuff. Like
Yeah.
like the far fetched like star like universe edge like dream of like I
Yeah.
wonder if Nintendo saw this, thought it was so good, and then you get a job because of it type of like.
Yeah, I mean maybe,
Fine.
but they I would like to see them work it out. And there's even a thing where like
Yeah.
you know, Steve Irwin is the champion of the Elite Four, you know, and stuff like
Oh, that's
that. You know,
adorable.
and he's got his Pokemon, so yeah, it's really
Hell
cool
yeah.
because the other thing
That's
is like
sick.
we all know, and trust me, I know Australia is dangerous as fuck for like just animals that will kill you.
True.
And just everything will kill you. Really, I mean, I'm living in the middle of a flood right now. I'm fine, but like there's a lot of stuff happening in my city in Sydney that's just like there's just rampant flooding happening all the
Oh,
just
shit.
all over. And everyone remembers a year ago you had the forest fires. So it's
Yeah.
like dude, I'm not religious at all, but I think God is saying that we shouldn't be living in this country. Like I think God is saying that this is an uninhabitable country. It has too many deadly animals,
Yeah.
too many environmental things that just screw you. 95% of the landscape is uninhabitable anyway because it's just desert. You literally have to live on the coast.
Mhm.
Again, I'm not religious, but hey, God sending a message is all I'm saying.
Australia's
he's
cursed.
He's trying to say something about trying to live here.
It is a tough place. You got to have some thick skin to live there. I had a conversation once with somebody from Australia, and they were like, I think it was around like animals and like, oh my god, so many snakes and you know giant spiders, and they're like, yeah, bro, but we don't like have bears or like wolves or like gigantic like predators.
I would rather have
That's what I think, but
because
I don't
I'll tell
know.
you what, I can see a bear coming at me.
Right.
I'm not gonna see a spider hiding under a fucking rock biting my toe.
Yep.
Right?
True.
I'm not gonna see a spider hiding under my pillow. Now I can't sleep tonight because I said that. I'm not gonna see that. I'm not gonna see some fucking poisonous spider in the corner of my room, and there will be one there. I'm not gonna have a bear in my room. I don't live in the woods.
True.
Right? A snake in the grass, like holy shit, it will just be there. You can't hide a fucking 300-400 pound bear in the grass. It's obvious as hell. It's like Shaq hiding behind that pole, right? So, bro, give me the bear any day of the week. I'll trade you. Bro, take my snakes and spiders. I'll have the bears.
And that's I felt that way, but it like really opened up like a cultural difference where it's like, yeah, I guess like there are some like super dangerous stuff here, but it's just become so common that like I wonder if it's just like common to be like, oh yeah, that's just like that spider, just don't get near it, it'll leave you alone, or you know, oh there's that snake or that you know reptile or God knows what.
Within 2 weeks of moving to Australia, I encountered a redback spider. It was just in the garage. To be fair, the garage hadn't been used a lot. It was just, it's just like a straight up deadly poisonous animal. Boom, right there in a suburban area. I'm like, fuck, this is real.
Yeah, that's
my
fucking wild.
My entire life before this moment, never had to worry about this. But there it is, just a redback spider that could fuck me up right there. Like,
yeah, that's like hospital visit instantly.
Like, all right, bro, this is where I live now. I
gotta fight my motherfucking life out here.
There's danger all around me.
Honestly, yeah, it's actually nuts. Australia is hardcore. Beautiful country, from my understanding. Gorgeous, but y'all don't play.
Alrighty. Well, find out what happens next week when we have a 3-hour long
Overwatch 2 podcast. Segment. We have so much to talk about.
It was fun though. It was fun. So thank you again. Yeah. Who's that from? Was it from Picasso?
Refined Bean. Sorry. We got plenty of Picasso questions to get to. Don't worry. We'll get to everybody's.
I assumed it was because Picasso does a lot on that. Yeah, thank you, Refined. Thank you, Refined Bean. That was a really good one, and we had a lot of fun on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We will be, if you want to check out the stats sheet that Eric put together, we'll have that available for you in the description as well. I'm pretty sure. Eric said that. He said it'd be available, so I just trust him. And yeah, I hope you guys have plenty to chew on with this episode. Yiska still needs to talk about his ship of Theseus, so maybe that'll be next week. But until then, see you then. 217 coming at you next week. Goodbye.